go. We're reading this story. And the first chapters had a lot. What chapter one? Chapter one had some fingering in it. Leave if you don't like spicy talk. And then chapter two had sandbox play. I think it had squirting. I know it had cream pies and all the things. So, warning, let me read the summary again. Yunho tries to be the good Catholic church boy his mother wants. He goes to church every Sunday, never misses mass, stays out of trouble mostly until he meets you, sin wrapped in the sweetest salvation he's ever seen. Warning, Dom possessive Yunho, sub-reader, unprotected schmacks, light mentions of public schmacks, putting your hands around a throat, nipping at someone, overstimulation, delicious Little Debbie cream pies, sausage warming, corruption, you can see that word, and use of substances that alter your reality. The genre is smut and romance, and it's going to be a good time. We are not reading all of chapter 3 because we'll literally be here 3 to 4 hours, and I don't want that stress on you guys. Now, Courtney, when we are reading, and I believe there are some YN parts, I would love for you to join in, just to take your acting role back. You don't have to agree. It's just automatic. All right, here we go. Chapter 3. Let me put up the warning just in case people don't realize what's happening here. And again, good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining in playback. And I actually talked longer than I wanted to. All right, let's go. Yunho smelled like bacon, maple syrup, and suppressed lust. The apron around his waist was stained with grease, and one corner of his name tag had melted against the grill yesterday when he leaned in too close. He'd meant to replace it, just like he'd meant to delete those gosh darn files on his camera. Now, if you're like, what is that? When Yunho was with YN, he accidentally recorded their schmex session and obviously didn't delete the files. But here he was, 2 days later, scrubbing down a cracked Formica counter in a rundown diner while the footage of him losing his soul was still sitting on his SD card like a digital demon. He hadn't even watched all of it, just pieces, little flashes he couldn't stop thinking about. And now, San was talking to him, flipping an omelet with one hand while the other scratched lazily at his neck, blissfully unaware of the absolute corruption taking place in the next station over. Yunho blinked back into the moment, just in time to realize San had asked him a question. You good? Yunho grunted. What? San arched a brow. You burned the pancakes. Yunho looked down. Black discs, crispy and lifeless, stared up at him until from the skillet like judgmental saints, he hissed and scraped them off. Oops. San didn't let it slide. He never let it slide into me. Not when Yunho had his I got laid energy. You've been weird since the other night, San said, grabbing 2 clean plates and glancing over his shoulder. Did something happen? Yunho opened his mouth, then closed it, then tried again. No, San scoffed. Liar. You forget me and Wu could hear the two of you. Yunho dropped his spatula. Well, we could hear you too. Let me guess, San said, leaning against the counter with a grin that was all teeth. She sucked your soul out. Yunho choked, on air, on guilt, on truth, and San cackled, fully turning to face him now, towel tossed over his shoulder like he wasn't spitting fire before the morning rush. Oh my God, San whispered dramatically. She did. I can tell you're walking around like she ghosted your frontal lobe. Bro, are you even in there right now? Yunho tried to look offended. He really did, but his ears went pink. Betrayal. I'm fine. You're not fine, San said. You burned the pancakes, you forgot to stock the napkins, and you just put cheese in a coffee order. She said, cheddar latte, Yunho mumbled, and San cackled harder. No, she said cinnamon, you lunatic. Bro, this is serious. Yunho scrubbed at the grill with a bit too much force. Can you not be so loud about this? San's grin dimmed, not fully gone, but shaded with something more honest, as he leaned against the prep counter across from Yunho. folding his arms. He said, voice quieter now. I don't really know her. Glanced over confused. YN? Yeah, San shrugged. When me and Wu started dating, she was still in Malibu. I'd hear stories, but I didn't meet her until, what, 6 months ago? Maybe less. Waited. He could feel the but coming as San licked his lips and tilted his head, brows drawn together in that rare moment when the jokes fell away and only honesty stuck. She seems like the type who doesn't get attached. Blinked, something cold running under his skin. I'm not saying that's bad, San added quickly. Just saying you're the opposite. You get attached. And I know that look in your eyes, man, you're already in too deep. Tried to scoff, tried to roll his shoulders like it was nothing, but San just shook his head. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, as your best friend, his voice softened. Don't, don't do that to yourself. Don't fall for someone who's not going to stay. That landed like a knife between Yuno's ribs because he already had. And the worst part, he remembered that Young told him that night how she never goes back. But she had for him. The lunch rush had died down, leaving only the sound of clinking plates and San humming off key to the radio behind the counter. Was wiping down a table when the bell above the door jingled. He didn't look up, at least not until he heard a telltale shuffle of expensive sneakers and a voice too casual for its own good. Yo, just turned in time to see his younger brother Gung Ho saunter in like he owned the place, hair messily styled, hoodie half zipped, and the kind of smug expression that screamed, I didn't text before showing up. Deal with it. What are you doing here? Asked, eyebrows lifting as he tossed the rag over his shoulder. Gung Ho dropped into the nearest booth like gravity had suddenly tripled. Wanted fries and to tell you mom moved dad's birthday dinner to Thursday night, 7. She wants you to wear something that doesn't smell like grease. Shot him a look. Aren't you supposed to be in class right now? Gung Ho suddenly found extreme interest in the ketchup bottle on the table. Dropped out. Stopped dead. You what? I said I dropped out. Gung Ho's voice was too casual, too practiced. Like 2 weeks ago. Mom doesn't know. He looked up then, eyes sharp with something didn't expect. Anxiety, maybe. And if you tell her, I will burn your car. Don't test me. San, who had wandered over with a basket of fresh fries, blinked. Wait, what? Gung Ho shrugged. I dropped out, he said again, reaching for the fries like this was any normal conversation. College isn't for me. The bell over the diner door jingled, and looked up absently, then froze. You stepped in first, the dusk light catching on the corset-style laces of your off-the-shoulder black mini dress. Courtney, you remember your YN. Thigh highs hugging your legs, a slow, dangerous smirk on your lips, like you knew exactly what you were doing, because you did. Young followed behind you, chatting animatedly with Yo-song. Both of them laughing about something. Neither noticed the way the diner's energy immediately shifted as Gung Ho blinked. Holy shit, he muttered. Eyes locked on you as you crossed toward the booth. Didn't even look up. He just swung his arm out and smacked Gung Ho's shoulder. Stop it. What? Gung Ho gasped, rubbing his arm, but still blatantly watching you settle into the booth while Young and Yo-sung. I'm just looking. I didn't say anything. Gave him a look and that said, you were about to, making Gung Ho snort. What? She your girlfriend or something? He teased, but didn't respond, didn't even blink. Gung Ho stared at him, eyes widening. Wait, dude, is she really your girlfriend? He nearly tripped over the floor mat, backing away, absolutely scandalized. Holy shit, oh my. Please, bring her to dad's birthday dinner. Please, I'm begging. Mom's crash out will be monumental. Muttered under his breath, jaw tight. She's not my girlfriend. Gung Ho's grin grew dangerously wide. Sure, totally. That's why he smacked me like I just insulted your future wife. Before could snap at him, he was already walking away. Could only stare in horror as his younger brother, college dropout, professional menace, and now personal embarrassment, strode straight across the diner with zero hesitation. You looked up from your menu just as Gung Ho reached the booth. Hi, he said with all the confidence of a young man who didn't fear death. I'm Gung Ho, Yuna's younger brother. Young immediately raised an eyebrow. Yosong blinked in mild surprise. And you? You smiled, slow and polite.
Oh,
You said, cocking your head just slightly as you looked over at Yuno, who was still standing behind the counter, looking like he'd just watched a car crash in slow motion.
I didn't know he had a brother.
You said, lips quirking. Gung Ho slid his hands in his pockets and leaned a little closer. That's probably because he didn't want to risk me meeting you. Yosong let out a low whistle as Young cackled. Anyway, Gung Ho went on, I just want to say you look really, really good. Like black out the sky, hot. If you're not dating my brother, can I apply for the position? Gung Ho was grinning, clearly pleased with himself, when you tilted your head and gave him a slow once over, the corners of your mouth lifting.
Oh,
You said sweetly, teasing.
how old are you?
He didn't even hesitate. 19. There was a beat of silence. Then all three of you, Young, and Yosong, burst out laughing at the exact same time. Gung Ho's confident smile faltered just slightly. What? What's so funny? Young was wheezing. 19? Bro, she was already wrecking hearts when you were still figuring out how to hide your browser history. Yosong leaned, an elbow on the table, biting back a smirk. She's not gonna babysit you, man. You just grinned, amused.
You're cute. Like freshly hatched chick cute.
Gung Ho raised both eyebrows, still trying to salvage the wreckage. Age is just a number, appeared behind him so fast it was like he teleported. He grabbed the back of Gung Ho's hoodie like he was picking up a misbehaving puppy. Nope, muttered. Time's up. Gung Ho started protesting, trying not to trip as dragged him backwards. Hey, you didn't even let her answer. She called me cute. That's not a no. Out, snapped, pushing out the door. I'm just saying, if you fumble this, I'm keeping her in the divorce. Gung Ho was too serious as shoved him completely out, his younger brother shooting finger guns at you through the windows. Okay, so hot. Glared at him before going back behind the counter as you slid out of the booth, smoothed your hands over the front of your dress, and started walking. You could feel the eyes, not just the diner regulars, but his. The second he reemerged from the kitchen, wiping his hands on a towel, head tilted down, like he was still mentally strangling Gung Ho. And then he looked up and saw you coming. Froze. It had been 2 days since that night, 2 days since you let him take you apart on his bed and leave your soul somewhere between his sheets and his camera lens. 2 days of nothing, no texts, no calls, just tension. Now you were close enough to feel the way he tensed, close enough that he backed up a step behind the counter like distance could save him. It couldn't. You leaned in just a little, resting your hands on the ledge of the counter, eyes flicking down to his mouth before lifting again.
Hi.
You said, "Aw, that was so soft." You said softly, like a dare, like an invitation. Swallowed. You, oh, sorry.
You good?
You asked, voice low, sweet, amused. He stared at you, towel still in his hands, jaw tight. His eyes swept over you once, slow and full of memory. Then again, like he didn't trust the first pass. I'm fine, he said, voice low. You smiled, slow and knowing.
You're taking me out tonight.
Blinked. I am? Your smirk was borderline criminal.
Pick whatever, wherever.
you said, casually brushing a hair behind your ear like you weren't actively shattering his nervous system.
I'll wait here.
And then you just smiled, like you hadn't just lit him on fire from the inside out. Yuno stared at you, jaw slightly slack, eyes wide. His brain had completely short circuited. Somewhere in the back kitchen, San was yelling something about pickles, and the fryer was hissing like it was about to explode. But all Yuno could focus on was you, that dress, that voice, the memory of your mouth, and now this. 2 hours, 2 more hours before he got off. He was going to die. You swallowed hard, glanced at the clock on the wall, then back at you. Or he swallowed hard, glanced at the clock on the wall, then back at you. You were already walking your fingers along the edge of the counter, completely unbothered. I'll finish my shift, he said, like he needed to remind himself.
2 more hours.
Your grin widened, all honey and wickedness.
I'll be right here.
And with that, you turned just enough to give him a better view as you headed back to the booth, leaving him standing there, towel in hand, jaw clenched, so tight it could crack granite. All right, little break. How you feeling about this chapter?
Date night.
I think I know where they're going, but I don't want to say where they're going. Good morning. Hello. Thank you for being here. Fix on. We love our Mr. Mingy. Let me just get a drink of water. This is currently chapter 3 of Devilish. It is a fanfic. There is spicy content in it. So if you do not like spicy content, please leave. And so you're not saying, oh my God, Chris, what are you doing? I'm reading corn, basically, on the internet. Cordy, did you think your summer would be filled with corn reading?
I mean, every season is filled with corn reading. I just didn't think I'd be doing it on the internet.
Well, surprise, 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 surprise. Yeah, one shots are definitely better because I feel like these sorts of stories, since this is like 5 chapters, it's long. 4. So it just breaks. You have to do breaks in it. So it may be hard for people to follow who were not here for the first reading, but you can always go back to playback because they're long as hell. So yeah, but anyway, thank you for being here for the live reading. We appreciate your contribution, Courtney. We do.
I'm trying to get into character, guys. I'm trying not to laugh.
I can hear you actually putting your all into it right now. Like you are there in the diner.
I'm trying.
You're doing good.
I just need to sit here and stare at cardboard Yunho cutout while I'm reading it.
I think that's a little much. He's not face down anymore. He's like properly sitting up.
I put him up against the wall behind my desk so he can't fall. So he's kind of just staring at me right now. It feels a little bit judgmental. But, you know.
I mean, I think Yunho would appreciate you spending some time reading about him. And I think that's very important. Barry Squeeze says, love that Chris introduced you to the online reading portion. New experience. It is a new experience. Thank you, Captain. I didn't know you were here. It is. I did throw her into this on purpose. She went along with it as my host, who is also a hostage. So again, Courtney, I appreciate you.
Just know you can't see it, but I am blinking several times.
You freaking
waiting
out?
For help to come.
Help from who? Who?
Anyone that'll listen. Anyone.
Don't help her. She wants to pee. She's right where she wants to pee. Just drinking water. Da-da-da-da. You're giving Wyan a very playful energy. I can see that. I don't
know if that's a good thing or not, though.
You're right. I'm sorry. I guess we're almost dating in this.
I gotta channel my inner slut.
Yes, you do. Like harder. No pun intended. Had to channel my man real quick. Love you two together. Thank you. Thank you. We love acting.
Are we being shipped now?
Yeah. You want to be Yunho? Absolutely not. That's my lane. I'm Yunho.
What are you talking about? I don't want to be Yunho. He says worse stuff than Wyan does.
Oh, Well, I hope there's a smex sheen in here for us to read through.
Oh God.
That sounded weird. And I hope we can fuck later in this. Okay, let us more. I know, that was weird. Let's read some more before I take another break. Yuno clocked out like the building was on fire. He didn't even say goodbye, just tossed his apron in the bin, muttered something about texting San, and met you out front. You were leaning against his car, arms crossed, sunglasses on despite the sun starting to set. The sight of you alone nearly made him forget how keys worked. The ride started quiet, the engine humming low as he pulled out of the lot. You glanced over at him, eyes tracing the slope of his jaw, the grip he had on the steering wheel, like it had personally offended him.
So,
You drawled.
where are we going?
You sound so like curious. You know, you're like, where are you going? Okay. Didn't answer. He couldn't. You smirked, leaning your head against the window.
You're really not going to tell me?
Still nothing. The only sounds were the soft thump of his playlist and the buzz of his nerves, short circuiting under your presence.
Hey, you okay over there?
You teased, shifting slightly. The hem of your dress moved with you. You were such a hoochie for doing this. So did his peripheral vision. Cleared his throat, eyes still on the road. I'm fine.
You sure? You look like you're about to combust.
You teased, and his jaw clenched. I'm fine. You leaned, you leaned in closer, voice a purr.
That good, huh? Last time we were in this car?
Such a slut. His hands tightened on the wheel as you laughed.
You're fun when you're flustered.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. You turned red as he protested. I'm not flustered. You were grinning now.
You're driving like you're being tested by the DMV and Jesus at the same time.
Just let me get us there in one piece, he muttered, and you leaned back again, utterly pleased.
So dramatic. I only said your name twice and you forget what air is.
Shot you a look so dry it could have cracked the windshield. Keep talking, oh God. Keep talking like that, and I'm pulling over. You smirked.
And then what?
He didn't answer, but he gripped the wheel harder. Oh, the tension. Hello. It wasn't long before he was pulling off the highway onto a quieter road. A neon light, oh yes, okay. A neon lit sign peeking through the trees ahead. Green Galaxy Mini Golf and Arcade. You blinked.
This is where you're taking me?
Parked the car, finally letting out a breath. Yeah. You turned in your seat, curious. You like mini golf? He shrugged. It's quiet, kind of hidden. Me and San go sometimes when we want to disappear. You looked at him for a long time. He glanced over. Yeah?
You're really bad at hiding.
He smiled despite himself. Come on, he said, getting out. Loser buys ice cream. You raised a brow.
You think you're gonna win?
Grinned now, stepping around to your side. You're the one wearing heels to a golf course. You stood up slow, brushing past him just enough to make your point.
Who said I need to move fast to win?
Okay. Held the door open as you stepped inside the mini golf building. The air cool and full of nostalgic arcade sounds. Old school pinball machines pinging in the corner, the whir of ticket counters, the dull thunk of a basketball game. Someone was losing badly. He walked up to the register, pulling out his wallet, while you leaned casually on the counter beside him. Looking around, the kid at the register, maybe the same age as Gong Ho, messy curls under a staff visor, looked up from his phone and immediately did a double take. Hey, he said with the kind of smile that only appears when someone thinks they've hit the jackpot. You guys playing tonight? Didn't respond. He was already pulling out his card as you glanced at, hold on, as you glanced at the guy, polite smile on your face.
Yeah, we're doing the course.
The kid's gaze dropped, not to the register, but very blatantly at the hem of your dress, and Yuno's jaw flexed. That'll be 12 for 2, the kid said, still not looking up. You here often? Yuno swiped his card.
No.
You said smoothly, voice airy.
First time.
Nice. You need help finding a putter? I can't. The kid was interrupted before he could finish. We're good. Yuno cut in, his voice deceptively calm as he took the receipt and the scorecard. She's with me. The kid blinked, eyes darting between the two of you before landing squarely on Yuno's narrowed stare. Something in the air shifted. Yuno didn't even raise his voice, but the warning was loud enough to ring. You, of course, were enjoying every second as you leaned over to grab a neon pink putter, tossing a sweet
Thanks.
over your shoulder before walking off toward the first hole. Yuno followed, gaze sharp, posture tight, as you waited until he was beside you, holding out your hand for the ball.
So you're gonna beat me?
Yuno handed it to you wordlessly, making you raise a brow, teasing.
What, not gonna say anything?
He finally looked at you, his voice low and unreadable. You look really good. Oh shit, sorry. That's you.
Are you sure?
Oh, wait. Yes, that's me. You look really. It doesn't say go, Christina. Okay. I use my. Who cares? My name's Christina. Nobody cares. Okay. You. Whatever. You look really good. You smiled.
Oh.
Oh. Back at it. You look really good. You smiled.
Oh.
He leaned in a little closer, lips nearly brushing your ear. Too good. And if that guy had looked at you 1 second longer, I would have shoved a golf ball down his throat. You blinked, then burst out laughing, and Yuno smirked. Just so we're clear, you brushed past him.
Oh, we're very clear.
You said, stepping up to the first hole.
No, come lose to me, jealous boy.
Yuno would be so jealous.
He would.
Okay, you bent down to place your ball on the green turf, twisting the putter lightly in your grip as you eyed the angle of the first hole. Simple shot, straight line, no curves or obstacles. Child's play. You took your time lining it up, feeling Yuno's eyes on you. Not just in the you're hot and I'm trying not to act faraway, but also in I'm absolutely going to destroy you at this kind. That's slutty. I'm absolutely going to destroy you at this kind of way. You sank the first shot in 2 strokes, grinning as you stepped aside.
Your turn.
Yuno stepped up, rolled his shoulders like he was warming up for a pro match, and with one clean, unbothered stroke, sunk it in 1. You laughed breathlessly.
Okay, chill, Tiger Woods.
He smirked. Beginner's luck. You squinted at him.
I was the beginner. Yours was an accident.
Yuno shrugged like it didn't matter. Still counts. By the third hole, it became very clear this wasn't just casual fun for him. Yuno wasn't being obnoxious, but you could tell he was focused, jaw set, every shot calculated. If there was wind, he'd probably factor that in too. You missed a tricky curve by a centimeter and groaned.
Aww.
Yuno said, eyes gleaming. So close. You glared at him playfully.
You're enjoying this too much.
He smirked. Am I? He asked innocently, already stepping up for his turn and sinking another shot with a perfect bank off the side. Maybe I just like watching you lose. The next hole was a nightmare. Twists, slopes, a fake waterfall, and a ramp that looked more like a ski jump than anything resembling golf-related architecture. You took your time, scanning it like you were plotting a heist. Yuno watched with one eyebrow raised, arms crossed, hip leaned lazily against the decorative lighthouse post, like he had all the time in the world. Need a compass? He teased. You ignored him, lined up your shot, and nailed it in two. One smooth curve around the bend, followed by a perfect ricochet up the ramp that landed inches from the hole. Straightened. Okay, what the hell? You glanced over your shoulder and shrugged casually.
I used to play this with my dad all the time when I was a kid.
The words were light. Your tone wasn't. Didn't press. He didn't ask what happened or why it hurt. He just saw the shift in your eyes, the flicker of nostalgia, laced with something that might have been grief, and quietly took a step closer. So basically, I've been training for this my whole. Oh shit, that's you.
So basically, I've been training for this my whole life and still getting wrecked.
That. Oh, was that me? It sounds like I would have said that.
You would have said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Context clues are giving me.
I have to like read ahead while reading. Okay, so basically, I've been training for this my whole life and still getting wrecked. That pulled a soft laugh from you. He grinned, mission complete, and stepped up to take the shot. All right, time to humble you again since you decided to pretend to be bad.
Please.
You muttered, folding your arms as he effortlessly sunk another shot.
You're so annoying.
Smirked, already walking backwards with his club over his shoulder like a victorious knight. It's not my fault I'm good at everything. You bit your lip to keep from smiling.
Not everything.
What? You said under your breath, just loud enough, teasing. He turned around and you finally let the smile spread as he narrowed his eyes, looking way too into that tiny smirk now on your lips. Are we still talking about mini golf for...
Wouldn't you like to know?
You sang, already heading to the next hole, and behind you, let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. You were still impossible, still sharp-tongued, still wearing that dress like sin on legs, but for a second, you let him see something real, and he wasn't letting go of that. The two of you made it to the last stretch of the course, the infamous windmill. It creaked every time the blades rotated, chipped paint revealing years of aggressive putts and bad first dates. The hole was a nightmare to line up and even worse to time, but neither of you were thinking about that. The course right next to it was packed. A group of college guys, loud, tipsy, obnoxiously confident, were clearly more interested in you than their short game. Noticed immediately. One of them elbowed the other, motioning toward you like you were some spectacle. Another one leaned on his club, barely pretending not to stare. Yuno's jaw ticked because he didn't. He didn't. He wanted to leave you alone, but he really needed to go to the restroom. I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick, he said suddenly, voice even but eyes still watching the guys as you looked at him.
You okay?
Yeah, he muttered, tearing his eyes away from the group and flicking his gaze back to you. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You arched a brow.
Why? Scared I'll beat your score?
He smirked, but there was something else behind it, something tight in the way he nodded, then turned and headed toward the building. As soon as he was gone, the guy struck. Hey, one called out, way too casually. You play here often? You didn't even look at him.
That's original.
His friend laughed like it was charming instead of cringe. Come on. You're not even gonna let me embarrass myself properly?
I figured you already did.
You said dryly, lining up your shot at the windmill like you didn't have an audience. And you didn't. Not one you cared about anyway, but one of the guys couldn't give up. Damn, that dress is dangerous. You here alone or that tall dude not known who, not, or the, wait, you here alone or that tall dude not known how to handle you? You ignored him as the guy, some redhead who reeked of beer in his pores, walked over towards you. He said, nodding toward the direction had walked off in. You could do way better than that guy. You didn't even spare him a look.
And yet here I am, playing mini golf, living my best life.
Ugh, his friend said from the background, laughing. But the guy didn't back off. In fact, the rejection only made him more determined. Seriously, though, that dress, those legs, you're wasting on a dude like that? You stared straight ahead.
Walk away.
Of course, he ignored you. Why? You scared you'll agree with me if you look too long? That earned him a slow glance, sharp, disinterested. He clicked his tongue as he stared to reach out.
Touch me and you'll lose fingers.
Unfortunately, some men really don't know how to listen. He reached for your arm. You've got a mouth on you. But he never got the chance to finish. A hand snatched his wrist mid grab, yanking him back with enough force that he stumbled. Yunho was there, silent, tall, eyes black with fury. Don't touch her. His voice wasn't raised, but it was a threat. The guy laughed nervously, trying to shrug it off. Hey man, chill, just talking. Yunho glared at him, jaw clenched. You touched her. That's not talking. The guy seemed to start getting nervous now. Dude, look. Yunho stepped forward, towering, close enough now that his voice dropped to something just for him. You don't get to talk to her. You don't look at her. And if I see you breathe in her direction again, we'll be skipping mini golf and going straight to my golf club up your ass. Are we clear? The guy started backing off, barely. His mouth was still running, though, all ego and nerves. Dude, relax. It's not like she's worth all that. Yunho froze. Everything about him still went before his first wait. Everything about him went still before his first collided with the guy. Oh, fist collided with the guy's jaw so fast and hard it sounded like a gunshot. The guy went down hard, hitting the turf like a thud. His friends suddenly rushing to help him as he groaned on the ground. You just stood there, stunned for a second as Yunho shook out his hand. Chest heaving, nostrils flared. His jaw was clenched so tight it looked carved from stone. For a second, he looked like he might throw another one just for good measure.
Yunho,
You said quietly, stepping closer.
Hey, he's not worth it.
He looked at you then, and the second his eyes met yours, the fire in them softened just a little. But it was still there, still lit for you. He said you weren't worth it, he muttered, voice low, dangerous. He put his hands on you. His was rough, deeper than normal.
I know.
You replied gently, touching his wrist.
But I'm fine. You're going to be the one with ice packs and a potential assault charge.
You sound so caring. The guy on the ground groaned again, clutching his jaw as one of his friends hissed. Let's just go, man, while glaring at Yunho, like he wanted to say something until Yunho looked back at him. Then he wisely shut up, as the group hauled him away. You turned back to Yunho.
Feel better?
You teased, trying not to let it be obvious how turned on Yunho's little display of protectiveness made you. Not really, he muttered, flexing his fingers. Still want to break his ribs. You arched a brow.
You're so lucky. I think violence is hot.
That got a twitch of a smile, just barely as he let out a breath, dropping his head for a moment, then looking back up at you. Oh, sorry, you shrugged, smiling.
Don't be. You just punched a guy in the face for me. Feel like I should buy you dinner.
Yunho smirked, that spark of competitiveness flickering again. Only if I win the next hole.
Oh, I'm going to smoke you.
You said, already walking back to the windmill. He followed, a beat behind, shaking his head. I literally just committed felony assault, and you're still trying to beat me at putt-putt? You glanced over your shoulder, grinning.
Priorities.
Wonderful. Taking another voice break. We're doing well. We're doing well. Is this a Chris courtship, Christy or Cordis? What should we call? Christy? Christy? All right. Or Christy.
Christy.
It's Christy. That's our unit name, the voice acting. We're trying. We're trying our best. We didn't practice. We're just living her life.
Yeah, I do need that to be known. There is no preparation for this whatsoever.
No, I agree. I just throw her in. I don't tell her anything about the show. I just send her a link and say, good luck. We're doing this. Fantastic. Let's get in some water. Corey, do you have water by you?
I do. I'm sitting here drinking my water. I should have had tea this morning. I goofed.
You have breaks in between. Okay. All right, let's get back into it. Then, so far, Yunho has beat up a man for YN. So fantastic.
And I found it hot.
Yeah.
Which it really would be.
It really, I just was picturing, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. He's wearing like that and that hat, them jeans, them diesel jeans, looking so good. Maybe, I would say throw him in sweatpants, but that's not the look that we're going
for. He just got off of work, which means he also still smells like grease. So I don't know how I feel about that.
You know what? For him, I'm just gonna look over. I don't even care. Smells like French fries. Perfect.
The things we would put up with for these men.
The bar is in hell. It's in hell. Okay, let's go. It started in his car. You were waiting for him outside the diner. Again, leaning against the hood like temptation in thigh highs and lip gloss. He clocked you the second he walked out. Apron. How are we going into the next? Okay. All right. Fast forwarded to something else. Leaning against the hood like temptation and thigh highs and lip gloss. He clocked you the second he walked out. Apron barely off, name tag still half hanging from his shirt. You didn't say anything, just smirked, opened the passenger door, and climbed into his lap instead. Excuse me. The moment he shut the door behind him, it was on. Oh no, Courtney. You straddled him in the driver's seat, mouth crashing into his. The car reeked of him. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to look over it. Coffee and sweat. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And that musky cologne, hot. And that stupid musky cologne that made your head spin. His hands were greedy, palming your buttocks, tugging your skirt up. What? Thumb slide. This is like so fast. They didn't even lead us into it. Okay. Tugging your skirt up, thumb sliding under the hem of your top. Fuck. You're insane. He breathed against your lips as you rocked down against him, feeling the hard press of him through his jeans.
You love it.
Courtney, I'm so sorry we have to do this.
No, you're not.
It's not that bad. Okay. He did. God, he did. And when you finally slit his belt open and climbed on fully, sank down with a gasp while the windows fogged. He nearly blacked out. You rode him slow, teasing, nails raking up his chest, lips brushing his ear as you whispered.
Bet you were thinking about this all shift, weren't you?
Courtney,
I'm going to get so into it that I make you uncomfortable.
I'm going to get into it, make you uncomfortable. We're going to make everyone uncomfortable. My neighbor's going to be uncomfortable. Anyone walking by my door. Okay.
God forbid my husband walks by.
So sorry, Mr. Court. He didn't answer, just groaned, grabbed your hips, and snapped up into you. Over and over as your moans, I don't like the visuals I'm getting, over and over as your moans muffled in his neck. The creak of leather, the smell of schmecks lingering in the air hours after he dropped you off. Fantastic. It was supposed to be innocent, just a little mom and pop place near the beach. You were licking pistachio gelato, wearing a black sundress that should have come with a warning label. Yunho watched you, every single flick of your tongue.
You're staring.
You teased. You're doing that on purpose. You tilted your head, all faux innocent.
Doing what?
Courtney, what was that?
I told you, I'm not into it and just make it super uncomfortable.
Courtney, are you eating gelato? That did it. He dragged you back to the car? Jesus Christ. Okay. He dragged you back to the car, shoved the seat down, and got on. Oh, God. And got on. Well, hold on. I need a break. I need a break before we get into this. I need a moment. I need water.
It's so out of nowhere. What happened to the rest of the date?
Right? Like, we were playing mini golf, and now we fast forwarded to this. Like, Jesus, he really does move fast. He's really trying to get that beef wallet.
All it took was gelato.
That's all it took. And now I'm munching. It's just crazy work. Okay, obviously let's get back to this. All right. He dragged you back to the car, shoved the seat down, and got on his knees between them. You gasp as he slid your pantaloons down and licked a long stripe up your center. Slow, filthy, obsessed. Just like how you did that gelato. You moaned his name loudly, hand tugging at his hair. Oh, I don't want to get into this like that. Hold on, let me brace myself.
So, okay, this is the thing that's bothering me. Logistically wise, this is not going to work. We're in the car, and he's licking strips down the center. How? What?
That's true.
How?
I don't know.
His legs are getting on that damn floorboard.
Hold on. Can we move him to the back seat? That would actually make sense logistically. I mean, I love the scene, but he's a big guy. He's like 6'1". Front. I don't understand unless he takes his legs off as he gets into the car, which I don't think he does.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He fits.
Yeah, he does.
I was about to lick my hand and make the acting.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna do it. Hold on. Let me see what it would sound like. You want my
no,
sorry.
No. I'm uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable. I need an adult. Like a more adult.
Help!
Like her 60, like a real, like I'm sorry for that ageist term, but it's like someone older.
Someone that's not us, please.
Yeah, someone who's not us. We're just children. So you did hear that inflection that I did.
Yes, yeah, I heard the saliva.
Don't look at me. We can't look at you. Or 60? Are you over 60? You're not us.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta be older.
You're gonna listen to that and play back. And then just like face palm.
I've licked my palm, so that's what happened. There's more. I am so sorry.
Oh man. Okay.
I licked my palm. I'm gonna do it.
I'm pretty sure I was warned to run away from people like you.
Ew, come on, Courtney. Okay. Like I'm a hazard. Don't be with content creators like that. Okay. You're so unhinged. All right. All right, here we go. Going back in. So I'm so sorry, everyone.
I'm just not. Don't lie.
I'm sorry. I'm just talking while I'm doing it. Hold on.
Talking and licking.
I'm not gonna lick my microphone. You wanted you guys know what it sounded like. You want it. Hold on. No, I'm not gonna do it. All right. You want it.
Don't do it.
I'm not. You like we sound scared, like someone else is reading it. Okay. You wanted my attention, then lick. He growled against your skin, tongue circling your mouse button. No, so take it. And you did. Legs over his shoulders, head pressed back, sobbing his name as he made you explode hard enough to black out the windows again. Could you imagine? Okay. It was the day before, huh?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. It was the day before his dad's birthday party. You've been teasing him all morning. Those shorts, the subtle brush of your fingers at the diner, the way you licked syrup off your fork at breakfast. So when he finally got you alone, oh God, he snapped, bent you over the edge of his bed, yanked your shorts and pantaloons down in one motion, and buried himself in you without a word. Get off of her. Give her a moment. Jesus.
I know, I'm seeing my part come up and I'm like, how into this do I actually
Oh,
want to get into it?
Oh no, look at what I have to say. Oh God, no, what's happening?
Oh no.
This is gonna be worse. Look at this.
Take it.
That is valid. Like,
apparently she is.
apparently, and we get to read it.
Okay, we got this. We can do it.
Don't say we can do it. Don't say that. Okay, if you don't like acting, please leave. And because we are really putting our all in this, we're doing great. We're doing a great job. Chrisney is doing the damn thing. Very excited. Very glad to be reading this. Okay. You cried out, back arching as he started pounding into you from behind. Hard, deep, desperate. Oh, hold on. One hand gripping your waist, the other pushing your head into the mattress like he couldn't get close enough. Fucking mine, he growled. You moaned, dizzy. Say it. Oh, he snarled, hips slamming into yours, making you sob.
Yours. Fuck. You know I'm yours. I can't do without laughing.
I'm so sorry, Courtney. Louder. He was unhinged now. Hands slipping between your legs, fingers rubbing you fast, furious. You came with a scream, legs shaking, but he didn't stop. God, this mouse. He groaned, breath ragged, so tight, so wet. You were made for me. His mouth was dirtier now. His hands rougher, your thighs were shaking, fingers clawing at his bed sheets. The air thick with sweat and schmecks, and something darker, like Yunho had finally stopped holding back. He was buried inside you, hips snapping against the curves of your ass with a punishing rhythm. Every slap of skin against skin echoing in the dim room. You're fucking perfect like this, he growled, voice rough in your ear, bent over for me, taking everything I give you like you need it. You gasped. Your moan broke. What?
I gasped.
Okay. Your moan broken by the way his pace hit just right. Again and again and again, each thrust knocking the wind out of you. Then his hand wrapped around your throat, not too tight, just enough. Hold on, I gotta move up here. He moved you upright, your back pressed to his chest, his other hand gripping your waist to keep you steady as his light stick slammed into you from behind.
You know.
You choked, head falling back against his shoulder, eyes rolling as his lips brushed the shell of your ear. Finish for me. You were already teetering on the edge, the pressure of your cord coiled so tight it hurt. His fingers flexed against your throat, his light stick dragged perfectly along your walls. And the second he whispered, "You're mine," again, you shattered. Your body locked, legs trembling violently as you finished hard around him. Your moan punched out of you like a confession. He didn't stop, okay? Didn't slow down, he growled, sinking his teeth into your shoulder, still pounding into your spasming mouse hole like he needed to F the sound of his name out of your soul. You were lightheaded, boneless, your body a mess of overstimulated nerves, and he loved it. Look at you, he hissed, breath hot against your skin. Finishing so effing hard for me. God damn. You tried. Could you imagine him saying it like that? Oh my God.
Yes. It's very problematic.
My acting's not helping, but the scene is coming alive. Brilliance. We're so good, Courtney. Chrisney. Sorry, that sounded weird. Okay, you tried to speak, but it came out as a whimper. And Yunho, he was close now. You could tell by the way his rhythm faltered, the way he suddenly pushed you down again, covering your body with his, chasing that final high, like he'd lose his mind if he didn't finish inside you. Gonna fill you up, he gritted. So freaking deep. Gonna make sure you remember whose mouse belongs. What? Hold on. Gonna make sure you remember who this mouse belongs to. You moaned, and that was it. He cursed loud and guttural, hip slamming into you one last time before he finished, spilling inside you with a groan like it wrecked him. And it kind of did, because once he stopped, once he finally collapsed over your back, still buried inside you, breathing heavy, he didn't move, just stayed there, like he didn't want to leave your body, like pulling out would break something. Fudge, he whispered, voice softer now. What are you doing to me? Magic. What a great scene.
Yeah.
So it's eating lunch.
Oh yeah, the chat's hilarious right now.
Okay, must have been left. So okay. Yeah. Find an inhaler, guys. Chris, remember what I said? If there's bedboard banging on the wall, I expect sound of I don't have anything. Oh, hold on. Hold on, this might work. That's good. Is this good, Jessica? I can't clap my hands.
Hold on.
Okay, you got something? Oh, Courtney, you can be the headboard and I'll be the noise. Hold on, let's try it. All right, Courtney.
Okay, here. 3, 2, 1.
So fucking good for me. Courtney, I can't hear the headboard.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Harder, louder. Okay, that's good. So fucking good for me. Oh, yes! That sounds so good. Jessica, stay alive. Can you make the bedpost a little bit louder?
Yeah, let me see what else I got here. Hold on.
Okay. I used a hard box. Okay, hold on. I'll try to slap slower. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. So fucking good for me. Is that good? What are you banging on?
A candle top.
Courtney, bang on your table with something hard.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Why aren't you louder, Courtney? Okay. So fucking good for me. Okay. Hold on, let me be louder too. So fucking good for me. I like that. Do you guys, is that loud enough, you guys?
My husband's gonna come out. What the fuck are you doing?
Mine's good. See how loud? Can you hear it? Is it loud?
Yes, yours is loud.
Mine is loud because I have a hard box. So fucking good for me. So fucking good for me. See, that's good.
I have a box.
Courtney, you smack your hands together and then I'll do the headboard. Ready? Yes, there we go. So fucking good for me. Yes, I think those are the sound effects. I can't wait for us to get back in bed with each other. Which will be soon, apparently, with this story. Okay, count heard it. Good. Seriously,
teamwork makes the dream work, guys.
Yep. This is like, yeah, basically.
Boy.
Loud and clear. Fantastic.
You know what I think is funny, though? YN is very talkative outside of the bedroom, but in the bedroom, Yunho is very talkative. So it's like they switch roles when they're in the bed.
They do. They really do. That's what I love about this story. It really just shows both sides of these individuals and all the things that they bring to the table. Yunho is always talking about busting pistachios all over the place, which I love. He's very aggressive in bed, and I love this for us. I really do. Stay on rhythm. We tried. Again, we don't practice these things, so we were improvising with how the noises should sound. Honestly, I hope there's another smashing scene at this point so we can just bring this home.
I think next we're getting to the party if you want.
Okay.
If you want me to
I'm not going to skip ahead.
Gunho. Do you want me to take like Gunho or their dad?
Take them, like, don't do this.
I can't do that part.
I can be gung-ho and you can be the dad. Okay, and then obviously I'm Yunho, and then you're her. So we got a lot going on here. Okay. We're starting this again. I'll say we're going back in. The diner was quiet for once. Just the hum of the fryer and the lazy clink of plates. being stacked in the. I was about to get plates, but that's too much. Like we're in a movie. All right. The lazy clink of plates being stacked in the back. Yuno wiped down the counter with a rag, catching San's eye as he slid a fresh plate of fries toward a lone customer. Almost free, San muttered with a yawn. Oh, hold it. Almost free, San muttered. I'm sorry if you start yawning. I'm so sorry for doing that. Almost free, San muttered with a yawn, cracking his knuckles. You ready for tonight? Your mom still does the whole blowout birthday thing for your dad? Yuno groaned, tossing the rag over his shoulder. You know he'll guilt trip me if I show up without at least one bottle of his favorite bourbon. San snorted. And that's why I love that man. I mean, how else can he put up with your mom? Yuno was mid-eye roll when his phone buzzed in his apron pocket. He pulled it out, squinting at the screen. Gung-ho. What? Hey, just a heads up, I stopped by your apartment, Gung-ho said quickly. Use the spare key San leaves under the rug. I grabbed your camera, figured I could shoot some footage at Dad's party. Yuno's blood turned to ice. My what? Yuno clearly picked up on his brother's panic. Your camera, bro. The one on your desk? Chill. I know how to use it. I already packed it, and I'm heading out now. Gung-ho, wait, Yuno shouted, panic creeping into his voice as he dropped the phone, nearly sending it skidding across the counter. But it was too late. The call had ended. San looked over, one eyebrow raised, as Yuno stood frozen, face rapidly draining of color. You good? San asked. Yuno didn't answer. He blinked once, twice, then dragged both hands down his face, like he was trying to erase his entire existence. Yuno glanced back at his phone, like it had personally slapped him and then sprinted into traffic. The line was dead. Gung-ho was gone. With the camera, San leaned against the counter, sipping from his nearly empty soda cup, watching Yuno spiral. He has my camera. San furrowed his brows again, together, not understanding why that mattered. Dude, it's just a camera. Yuno dragged a hand down his face, muttering. It's not just a camera. San blinked. Okay. What else is it then? A portal to hell, cursed object? Courtney, your name. A Horcrux.
My old name.
Hey, Yuno didn't answer right away. He just looked over at San, jaw tight, eyes wide in a way that practically screamed, do not make me say this out loud. San raised a brow. Dude, what is on that camera? It's got stuff on it. Yuno answered vaguely, making San even more confused and curious. Stuff? Like what? Yuno exhaled hard through his nose, lowering his voice. Like very personal stuff. San paused with his cup halfway to his mouth. How personal? Yuno gave him a look, and San squinted. Wait, hold on. Yuno didn't say a word as San's eyes widened as it clicked. Wait a minute. Yuno shut his eyes. You're telling me there's a sex tape of you on that camera? Yuno dropped his head onto the counter with a thud. And YN? San recoiled, nearly choking on air. Yuno! Shut up! Oh my God! San, shut up. Oh, I'm never looking at that camera again, ever. Bro. San started pacing behind the counter like he needed to walk the blasphemy out of his system. Your brother, your teenage brother, just walked into a family event with a fucking high def. I can't be loud. My neighbor's probably like, what the fuck's going on over there? With a fucking high def sex tape in his backpack? Do you know what kind of psychological warfare you just unleashed on your entire bloodline? Yuno groaned, still face down on the counter. I know. San stared at him, much more serious now. Dude, does YN know? Yuno groaned. No. San stopped pacing. Oh my God. You're going to die. You're going to die. Yuno's muffled voice came from the counter. Do you think Gung-ho will actually check the camera before he uses it? San didn't hesitate. 100%. The curiosity will kill him. He's going to press play the second he gets bored. Yuno brushed past San, clocking out early and yanking his apron off, running to get to his car. Son right behind him. Didn't. All right, let me take a break. This. How are you feeling for right now? It's a lot.
Well, first off, I don't know why you kept that camera right on your desk in a room where your mother and your brother have keys to your apartment and could walk in at any point in time.
True. And he looked at the footage, actively looked at it in the previous chapter. He could have deleted it right then and there, but he was like, no, he didn't do it. Like, sir.
Let's be honest. I wouldn't delete it.
Just get it.
You want to keep that. But you need to put it on a USB drive and hide that USB drive.
Yes, 100%.
Don't just keep it out in the open.
Get a new SD card or something. It's just too much. Missy says, I expected mom to find it alone, but this is so much more. Yes. No. If his mom found it, that's 10 times worse. At least his brother finding it is slightly more better, but it's scary. That a national treasure now. Or we keep it very, very. Do you not have work today?
That's so rude.
I know. No. You can stay. I would keep it in password. Jessica, we know if you did something with Captain, you definitely keep it 110%. Probably gets frames printed out of each scene.
And then plaster them on the bedroom wall.
Right? Give a tour when anyone visits you. This is where he banged me. Okay. Didn't even park properly. Just flung the car into a space like he was auditioning for Fast and Furious. Family emergency. The engine barely shut off before he was already yanking the door to his parents' house open, muttering, shit, under his breath. Son jumped out after him, shirt still wrinkled from work, his apron literally in the back seat. We look like hell, bro. We don't have time to look pretty, snapped, already halfway up the driveway. My Smex Life is about to premiere in 4K Ultra HD at my father's birthday party. They didn't even get to the front door before it swung open, revealing Miss Joan herself. Warm smile, pearls at her neck, and an uncanny ability to sense impending doom. She beamed, pulling him into a hug. You're early. Tried to return it with a smile that didn't look like he was actively melting inside. Hannah's here, she smiled, straightening his collar. Froze. Of course, Hannah is here. The girl his mom still tried to set him up with. Every time I'll be Hannah too. Set him up with every time she had an audience and a tray of rice cakes. From over his mother's shoulder, caught a glimpse of Hannah. Perfect dress, perfect smile, perfect timing to witness the absolute breakdown of his sanity. Son what? I've never seen that word. Son sidled up behind him and, subtly elbowed him. Go, he muttered under his breath. Fine, Gung-ho, now. Son disappeared into the house and, turned back to his mom with a polite smile while mentally drafting his will. Come in, she urged, already pulling him inside. We were just about to start and Hannah brought those macaroons you like. Smiled towards his mom was so tight he could snap dental floss. Barry, dental floss. The moment her back turned and Hannah started walking over with those pastel macaroons and intentions, he was out. Hey, actually, where's Gung-ho? He asked, stepping backward toward the hallway like a man being chased by a bear in a dress. His mom blinked. Upstairs, I think, with your father. They were setting something up. Something about your camera? Yuna's blood pressure flatlined. Son was already walking back towards him, having not seen Gung-ho anywhere downstairs. But the second he noticed Yunho bolt upstairs, he followed after him. They bolted up the stairs, 2 steps at a time. At the top, muffled voices drifted out from the master bedroom. I swear this thing has 1,000 buttons, Gung-ho was saying. Why would anyone need so many settings just to... Oh shit. The images now staring back at him nearly knocked the breath out of him. Gung-ho. Oh, shit, you're the dad. My bad.
Gung-ho.
Their dad grunted, already three fingers deep into his whiskey glass.
What the hell is this?
Sound like a dad. Jesus. It's Yunho's camera. I just turned it on. The screen of his laptop displayed you. On Yunho's bed, pierced nips on display. Gung-ho loved to try and turn it off. Instead, he swiped to the video. Oh God, the sudden noises of your moans, and eating you out, echoing. Yunho burst through the door like the Kool-Aid man. Turn it off. Gung-ho spun around just as Yunho lunged and ripped the camera from the projector cord, the screen going dark mid-moan. San skidded in behind him, breathless. Did we make it in time? Gung-ho just... I had to sound tight. Yunho just stared. No, Gung-ho just stared at his older brother for a second, then grinned. Damn, Young, I didn't think you had it in you. Their dad, still clutching his glass, sighed and took a long, long sip.
Neither did I.
You sound terrified. All right.
I just saw my son.
Yeah. I know. I'm so sorry, Dad. Okay. Yunho looked like he might spontaneously combust.
Your mother.
Their dad continued, pointing the rim of the glass toward him with a deadly serious look.
Can never know about this.
Is that a dad voice I hear?
I'm trying.
You're sounding good. The living room was packed. Every cousin, aunt, neighbor, and retiree from the neighborhood golf club had crammed into the Young household for Yunho's dad's birthday. There were balloons, finger foods, and a tragic Spotify playlist featuring everything from Michael Bublé and Cher. Yunho came down the stairs like a soldier back from war, expression stiff, jaw tight, his camera clutched like it needed therapy and a security detail. San trailed after him with a smirk that said, "This is going to be my favorite story for years." Gung-ho had naturally already disappeared into the crowd, probably to whisper, "You guys will never guess what I saw upstairs," to some horrified second cousin. Yunho barely made it 5 feet into the crowd before she was there. Hannah, in a form-fitting pastel pink dress, with her arms crossed just enough to squish her cleavage up for maximum weaponization. Her lips curled into a sugary sweet smile. Her eyes sparkled with fake warmth. "Uni," she purred, stepping into his space like a perfume ad with bad boundaries. "You look good." He took one step back and gave her a look. "Hannah, we should catch up," she said, brushing his arm lightly. "It's been a while. We used to have so much fun. Remember? We should go out sometime. Just like we used to." Yunho blinked at her. The fake smile stayed plastered on her face. He blinked again. Then casually, with no hesitation, he dropped the hammer. "We dated for a week in high school." Hannah's smile froze as Yunho leaned in slightly, voice still even. 7 days. You made me watch The Notebook twice and tried to feed me a bite of your salad while I was eating a burger. I dumped you the next morning." Hannah blinked rapidly, like her lashes might fan away the sting. "You were sweet on me back then," she said tightly. Yunho raised an eyebrow. "I was 17 and concussed from basketball practice. I thought you were the nurse." San choked behind him, coughing into his sleeve, like it was pollen season. As what? Season, as Yunho kept going, soft but final. "I'm not interested, Hannah." Then he turned and walked off, right past his aunt, who raised her wine glass at him in respect. San caught up a moment later, wheezing. I thought you were the nurse," Yunho groaned. "She had a clipboard. I was dizzy. It was dark." San was full of laughing now as Yunho scanned the party, suddenly desperate for a drink or maybe an emergency exit, or you, who'd missed all that upstairs drama, blissfully unaware that his family finally had nearly seen you. Nearly heard you ruin him. The dining room smelled like grilled pork belly, garlic, and tension. Yuno sat stiffly at the table, chopsticks hovering above his rice. To his left sat Hannah, looking smug and very cozy, despite how Yuno turned her down. Brushing against his jeans, okay, like she planned. Across the table, his mom beamed like she was watching her favorite K drama play out live. Eat more, Hannah, she said sweetly, piling another scoop of side dishes onto the girl's plate. You need strength if you're going to keep up with Yuno. He's always so busy with work. I worry he doesn't take time for someone special. Yuno shoved a bite into his mouth, hard, like it owed him money. Across the table, Gung Ho elbowed San, who was already fighting a grin like a man on the verge of chaos, while his dead at the while his it should say dad while his dad at the hand I kept saying while his dad at the head of the table chugged at his glass of bourbon. His mom sighed, eyes sparkling like she was about to deliver the ultimate mom line. You know, you know, you should really spend more time with Hannah. She's such a sweet girl, always at church, comes from a good family, and she's a good Catholic girl, yeah. Muttered into his rice as his mom smiled proudly. Exactly. Then, with the timing of a sitcom punchline, Hannah leaned in and gently touched his arm. I'm free next weekend, she offered. We could go to mass together and then maybe dinner. Something in twitched as Gung Ho straightened in his seat, like he sensed a storm brewing. The storm is over. San, meanwhile, reached for his water like he might need it for splash damage. Yuna set his chopsticks down, slowly, lifted his eyes, voice low, sharp, a little too loud for the tiny room. I've seen someone. The entire table stilled. Even the forks paused in midair, like, wait. Hannah blinked. His mother froze, mouth open. Yuno's dad leaned back with a low whistle, then groaned and said,
Gun ho, refill.
Gung Ho, you sound so urgent. Like obviously you know what's going on. Gung Ho, grinning like a menace, got up immediately. On it. San, in the middle of chewing kimchi, choked on laughter and had to slap his own chest. Yuno's mom, ever the master of ignoring anything off script, blinked. You're seeing someone? Yuno didn't elaborate, didn't look at Hannah, didn't even blink. Just took another bite of rice like he hadn't just dropped a nuke on the room. Gung Ho returned with a bottle and casually set it in front of their dad.
So,
he said, nudging Yuno's chair with a smirk.
This mystery woman got a name, or is she just camera girl?
Oh shit. San howled into his sleeve. I can see San's face. Their dad snorted. Do you remember when they were trying to describe their lyrics and they didn't? And San made that face?
Yes.
So cute. Their dad snorted so hard his glasses fogged. Yuno gave Gung Ho a look that could boil holy water. His mom, now looking deeply confused, asked softly, Camera? Gung Ho immediately lied through his teeth. I mean, Camry. She drives a Camry. Mom, nice girl, reliable. San wheezed. Their dad lost it, and Gung Ho wanted to die. All right, another break.
You don't want it to die.
Yeah, I would have wanted to die like filthy. Yeah, dad is a real one. True. Again, Courtney, great job being the dad. Really impressed.
Thanks.
Welcome. Maybe we need to switch up the roles in this YouTube Discord family. Pause. Oh, I see. No, I'm the dad. I want to be the dad.
She wants to be daddy.
Yeah. Courtney. Courtney, come on. This reminds me of a Stephen Lynch song, similar but different. Hello. I forgot Toya. Yeah.
Look at you forgetting your kids' names, ma'am.
Yeah. I should know.
This is why she could never be the mother.
That's true. I don't know names. Okay. Again, we're reading Devilish, which is a fanfic starring Mr. Yunho from the group ATs. Don't know if you guys are familiar with that group. but that's what we're reading. Put the disclaimer back up there. I just took a break. All right, we're at dinner now. Let's finish our dinner time. The front door slammed open shut behind them. Son kicked off his shoes. What? Son kicked off his shoes. What are you doing?
The way you read that sentence, the front door slammed open shut behind them. I was like, wait a second, are we opening or shutting the door?
I don't know, both.
I looked away for 2 seconds.
I'm just making up things at this point. The front door slammed shut behind them. Son kicked off. Wait, hold on. Where are they?
They're leaving.
Oh, they're coming home. I think he came home.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got confused. Okay. At least they're not humping. That's good. All right. The front door slammed shut behind them. Son kicked off his shoes with a groan and muttered something about needing a shower to rinse off the trauma of the birthday party. Yunho didn't respond. He was already halfway into his room. His door clicked shut behind him. Lock turned. Silence. Then a soft whir as he flipped open the compartment on his camera and pulled out the SD card. Finally, he plugged into his laptop and sat back in his chair, letting the folder of photos load. Oof. Okay. His hand ran through his hair. He looked exhausted, frustrated, starving. But then the screen lit up, and there you were, that glint of metal on your chest catching the light. He leaned closer. Click. Next photo. Click. Next. There it was. The one he couldn't stop thinking about. Your nip pierced the delicate barbell, catching between your teeth. Inappropriate. Yunho sucked in a breath. Okay. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, but he didn't move, just stared, jaw clenched, tongue running across his lower lip, like he couldn't help it. Fuck. He whispered it under his breath, like a prayer or a curse. He reached for the mouse, clicked on the image, made it full screen. Why? He leaned back in his chair. Oh no, do I have to? Okay. Adjusting his, I think I'm about to diddle myself. Adjusting his pants because he was already stiff. Of course he was. He kept his eyes on the screen, your nip piercing, glinting like it knew what it did to him. His hand moved down slow, deliberate. He didn't even blink. Can you hear this? My hand sliding. He didn't even blink. Fucking what? You heard it?
No. It's just my hand sliding. It's like a commentary when you're watching a movie.
Fucking obsessed with you. The whisper was low, honest, like it slipped out before he could stop it. And he kept staring at the photo, at the barbell he had memorized by now. The one he tugged with his tongue. The one you begged him to bite. The one he kissed with something just shy of worship. Inappropriate, the visuals. The bell above the door jingled as you stepped inside, the sound swallowed up by sizzling grills and clinking plates. The late morning crowd was light, a few locals scattered across booths, but nothing compared to the lunch rush that would hit in less than an hour. You and Uyung paused just past the threshold, letting your eyes adjust to the warm yellow lights and polished chrome. You were a vision, all cinched satin and lace. Is that the only clothes you have, Courtney?
Apparently.
The pale peach color of your dress stretching tight across your curves, trimmed in inky black that made your skin look like moonlight. It barely qualified as diner appropriate, but then again, you weren't here for the pancakes. You were here for him. You strolled in, deliberate and slow, the chains clipped to your garter glinting with each step. Behind the counter, Yunho was bent over, refilling napkin dispensers, sleeves rolled up, veins taut in his forearms. Son was wiping down a nearby table, half-focused, earbuds dangling. Boys, Uyung called, voice sing-song. Guess who came to bless your shift? Son glanced up first. His eyes widened for half a second before a low whistle escaped his lips. Holy shit. Yunho stood fully upright, turning casually until his eyes landed on you. He froze. You were walking toward him now, lips curled in a soft, knowing smile, the kind that promised trouble just as much as it invited it. He stared at your legs, then your waist, then the black lace dipping low along your chest, before quickly flicking his gaze up to your eyes like it might undo the damage.
Afternoon.
You said sweetly, placing your hands on the counter, your cleavage framed perfectly in the neckline of the dress.
Busy day?
Yunho's voice cracked slightly. A little bit. His gaze was taking over you shamelessly, causing you to smirk. Wyan wanted to say hi before we head out tonight, Young added, far too pleased with himself. Big party later. Figured we let you two get a glimpse. Looked like he was malfunctioning. You could feel his eyes dragging back down just for a second before he snapped them away again.
You know?
Oh, is that me? Who's saying this?
I
Okay,
don't know.
me neither. Can you please say that again?
It's Yunho.
It landed like ice water down his spine. He turned sharply, too sharply, nearly knocking over the napkin dispenser. Oh, as his mother strode in perfectly composed in a sleek coat, heels tapping. Okay, do you want to be the? Oh no, you're off, Wyan. Hold on. Okay, heels tapping lightly against the linoleum, and behind her, looking like he wanted to disappear into the tile floor, was Gung Ho. Shit. What are you doing here? Asked, trying to keep his tone even, his hands already tensing at his sides. I was in the area, Miss Chung replied, smile polite and faintly pleased with herself. Thought I'd surprise you. She stepped further inside and then stopped. Her eyes landed on you, not just a glance, a pause, a sharp flick of the gaze from head to toe, and back again. Her smile didn't falter, but something in her expression shifted, subtle and calculating, like a wolf sniffing out blood under perfume. And who is this? She said pleasantly. Opened his mouth, but you beat him to it with a soft, oblivious charm that made his chest twist.
I'm Wyan.
You said with a little wave.
Nice to meet you.
The silence that followed was sharp enough to cut glass with. Miss Jeong tilted her head slightly, lips curving with a professional grace that somehow still managed to feel like a threat. Oh, Wyan is it? How darling. Gung Ho, meanwhile, had stiffened beside her like someone had just pulled the pin on a grenade. He hadn't said a word, just standing there, hands stuffed into his hoodie pockets, gaze glued firmly to the floor. Caught the quick flush crawling up his brother's neck. Noticed the way his ears were red, the way he wouldn't look at you, not once. He had to have been having flashbacks of what he saw in the camera. Gung Ho, Miss Young said, arching a brow. You're being rude. Gung Ho blinked fast, like waking up mid nightmare. Sorry. Hi. You gave him a friendly smile. Still unaware of the cursed knowledge he was now carrying like a weight on his back.
We've met.
You added.
The other day, right? You were here for lunch?
Gung Ho nodded quickly at your little half lie, leaving out how kicked him out for trying to flirt with you. Yeah. Just once. Miss Young's smile lingered, but her eyes flicked back to There it was, that tiny breath of a pause. That moment she put the pieces together. The way you were dressed, the way her son was looking at you like he'd already committed sins in your name and would do it again. The way his ears had gone pink, and his stance was just a touch too defensive. And worst of all, the fact that he hadn't introduced you himself. So, this is her. Well, she said smoothly, isn't this charming? It's always refreshing to see young people express themselves so boldly. There was no mistaking the edge between her words, sweet, polished, sharp as glass. Tensed, opening his mouth to shut it all down. Yeah, But you, still smiling, still dangerous, replied before he could.
Thank you.
You said brightly.
I figured I'd dress up. We've got a party later.
Miss Young pursed her lips together like she tasted something sour. A party? She repeated. How exciting. And you came here first. You smirked, eyes gleaming.
I like saying hi to my favorite guys.
You said, reaching out to gently brush Yuna's arm. Oh.
Plus, Uyung needed to harass San. It's a whole ritual.
Miss Young's eyes dropped to your hand on her son's bicep, the casual intimacy of it, and Yuna felt her gaze slice straight through him. She turned to him, voice cool and amused. Well, I hope she's not distracting you too much from your work, dear. Yuna cleared his throat, jaw clenching at his mother's sharp tone. She's not, he said flatly. Miss Young nodded, eyes piercing with distaste. Oh, I'm sure she's not trying to, she said sweetly. Though, I suppose it's hard not to draw attention. Something like that. Gung-ho coughed hard into his sleeve. Yuna's eyes narrowed. That was enough. We're actually about to be on a break, he said, stepping slightly in front of you now. It was subtle, but protective, a quiet barrier, even as he spoke to her with a forced calm. Did you need anything? Miss Young waved a hand. Nothing urgent. I just miss my son. Her eyes flicked past you, past him, to you again. And it's always enlightening to meet the people you surround yourself with. You shifted slightly behind him, sensing the change, but not the cause, your hand brushing his lower back, grounding him. Yuna exhaled slowly through his nose. You met her, he said quietly, so now you can stop asking. Miss Young's gaze sharpened, but her smile stayed. I see, she said. Well, I'll let you get back to it. I'm sure you're very busy. She turned to Gung-ho. Come along. Gung-ho practically scrambled after her, still avoiding your eyes as he passed. You watched them go, completely unaware of the fallout humming under every word, the way Yuno's hands were clenched at his sides, knuckles white. Only after the bell above the door jingled again did you speak.
So that was your mom?
You asked softly. Yuno let out a long breath. Yeah.
She's intense.
He glanced at you. The curve of your dress, the bite of your choker, the sweet fake innocence of your smile, and the chaos you didn't even realize you dropped into his lap. She has no idea, he muttered, half to himself.
No idea about what?
Yuno didn't answer because right now, the only thing keeping him from grabbing you by the waist, oh God, and dragging you into the back storage room was the ghost of his mother's perfume still lingering in the air. Well, it's getting tense. It's getting tense. It is, because we're trying to keep up. Bro, I was scrolling the shorts and rushed here. Oh my God. Right? Thank you so much for being here. Oh no, facts. We'll be reading I'll be forcing Courtney to read fanfics all summer. So excited. After this chapter, we'll move into one-shots because they're much faster. I guess I'm going to finish this chapter. I guess that's how.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a lot.
Well, there's one more chapter after this one.
Aw. So we'll break it up.
We're still waiting for the rest of them.
Yes, hopefully, our favorite writer blesses us with another chapter this summer. Okay. I wish that we could read Stockholm Syndrome, but
the nope.
Too bad.
I don't want to be here for that one.
Neither do I. I'll just pre-record it and play it and go outside. See you guys later. By the time they got off their shift, Yuno's nerves were wired like a live wire. His fingers still smelled like grease and diner coffee, but all he could think about was that dress, that damn dress. He hadn't been able to concentrate all evening, not when you'd walked in looking like a walking sin, and definitely not after his mother had pieced it all together like a puzzle she hated. He hadn't said much after that encounter, not even to San. But now he needed to see you again. Hey, San said, slinging his jacket over one shoulder as they stepped out into the night. You still want to go to that party? Yuno didn't hesitate. Yeah, San side-eyed him because YN's gonna be there? Yuno ignored the knowing grin of his best friend. Obviously, he muttered, already unlocking his car. The warehouse wasn't exactly downtown, but it wasn't a secret either. They could hear the bass long before they parked, that deep, thrumming boom that rattled your chest like a second heartbeat. Red and blue strobes flickered through the high windows like warning lights. The line outside was half drunk college kids and locals dressed like they wanted trouble. Yuno didn't even flinch. He and San flashed their way through the side entrance, nodding to a bouncer, and stepped into the chaos. And it was chaos. The warehouse had been gutted, no signs of its former life left behind, just fog machines, rope lights, and speakers the size of refrigerators. The floor vibrated with every beat, the air thick with sweat, cologne, and something vaguely herbal. Couples were grinding against every wall, friends screamed over the music, lights flickered in time with the beat. Yuno scanned the crowd. Where the hell are they? He muttered. San leaned in. I texted Blue. He said they were near a DJ booth. Of course they are, grumbled, already pushing his way forward. They cut through the crowd, past a guy twirling glow sticks, past a girl in nothing but fishnets and a smile, until they made it to the elevated platform near the front. And there you were, dancing like you didn't give a single fudge about who was watching, which made it so much worse because everyone was watching. That dress barely covered anything. Your arms were in the air, head tilted back, hair clinging to your neck from the heat. Young was dancing with you, all hips and smirks. Yosong stood off to the side, sipping from a red cup and shaking his head, like he'd given up trying to keep you two from turning the place upside down. Yuno stopped moving. His whole body froze like something had pulled the power cord out. San nudged him. Breathe, bro. Yuno inhaled through his nose. You hadn't seen him yet. But he'd seen enough. That was your dress. The one that had hunted his shift. That was your mouth, smiling at Young like you didn't already belong to someone. That was your body. Yeah. Swaying with the beat like it didn't know he was watching. And just like that, he was walking again, eyes locked, shoulders squared, already drowning in heat, because it didn't matter how crowded this place was. It didn't matter who else touched you. He was here now. He barely felt the shove of bodies as he moved forward, didn't hear the bass anymore. It was all just background noise now, irrelevant, fuzzy, because your eyes had just landed on him, and your whole damn face lit up. Okay, you at a party, all right? You yelled like it was the first time you ever said his name, and the sound tasted sweet in your mouth. Before he could say anything, before he could even fully process how good you looked up close, you were already on him, literally on him. Arms around his neck, fingers tangled in his hair, pressing your whole body to his, like you were trying to fuse skin. He staggered a little from the force of it, hands instinctively catching your waist. Your dress was hot from dancing, sticky with sweat, and so short it left nothing to the imagination. Hi, baby. Oh, that's you.
Hi, baby.
Are you drunk?
Yes.
Oh, nice, you said, voice syrupy and slurred, voice brushing his jaw as you practically purred it.
You smell so fucking good.
Okay. Yuna's mouth opened, closed, then opened again as San snorted. Jesus Christ. From behind you, Young just burst out laughing. Dude, he grinned, holding up his drink like a toast. She's so high.
I'm not.
You are. You mumbled absolutely high, giggling as you hid your face against Yuno's neck.
I just missed him.
Yuno's jaw clenched as Young clapped a hand on his shoulder. She took a little edible, maybe a little more than one. Definitely kicked in when they turned the lights off. She's been dancing like a demon all night. He leaned in. She's been asking about you like for an hour though. So good luck with that. Didn't answer because your fingers had slid down his chest, dragging hot little paths through the thin fabric of his shirt. It's that blue flannel, 100%. And he could feel you humming against him. You're real. Oh,
Why are you taking my lines? Huh?
sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Christine for life. Okay.
You're real, right?
You whispered.
Not just my brain being needy.
Yunho's voice dipped low as you placed a kiss at his Adam's apple. I'm real, he said, throat dry as sand.
Oh, good.
You pulled back to look at him, eyes wide and pupils down. Oh.
Because I want to ride you tonight. Like, really ride you. I've been thinking about it since lunch.
I choked on mine too. Choked on his own drink. Blinked. You blinked back, completely unbothered. And then you kissed him, right there in front of everyone, lips hot and sloppy and unapologetically needy. You kissed him like the room wasn't spinning, like the music wasn't roaring, like you didn't care who saw. He barely had a chance to kiss you back, to think, before you were giggling again and holding onto his shirt, like it was the only thing tethering you to earth.
Did I mention I missed you?
You asked sweetly. Yunho swallowed hard. Yeah, baby, you did. Uyang was still grinning like the devil. Should I start placing bets on how long he lasts before he breaks and takes her home? San shook his head. 10 minutes max. Uyang scoffed. 5. Uyang countered. Did you see the way she kissed him? Didn't hear the rest because your hand had slipped under the hem of his shirt now, palm against bare skin, and he was officially losing his freaking mind. Had to ground himself. He took a slow breath through his nose, arms still loosely around your waist, willing his body not to react to you pressed against him like that. Your skin was damp with sweat, pupils blown wide and shimmering like starlight in the pulse of neon lights overhead. You were gorgeous, and you were definitely high. He could feel it in the way your fingers wouldn't stop moving, tracing the line of his jaw, then his collar, then lower, like you couldn't remember what stillness felt like. Your body buzzed with energy, all tangled in the beat of the music and the thrum of your pulse. Hey, he said softly, ducking down to be closer to your ear. Baby, slow down a little, eh? You blinked up at him, lips parting in surprise.
I'm fine,
You said with a kind of sincerity only someone not all fine would say. Then, as if to prove your point, you reached into your cleavage, fingers slipping between the swell of your bosom and the front of your dress, and pulled out a tiny purple zip baggie. Yunho stared as you held it up proudly.
I saved this for you.
Inside were 2 soft, rounded gummies, speckled with sugar and shaped like little stars. He looked from the baggie to your glowing, mischievous smile. What is that? You shrugged.
I don't know. Probably weed. Might be weed and something else. Yosong said it's like mellow but fun.
Mellow but fun? Yuna repeated slowly. Like if he said it too fast, it would summon a demon. You nodded.
Exactly.
Then your fingers closed around his, pressing the little bag into his palm with his soft, pleading look in your eyes.
So, be high with me?
Yuna looked at the bag, then at you, then at Uyang, who had the audacity to throw up both hands like, don't look at me, man.
Please?
You said, leaning in close, lips brushing his cheek.
I just want you to feel what I'm feeling, just for a little while.
So hot, Courtney. He shouldn't. You were high. This party was loud. He was supposed to be the one keeping you safe and grounded. But your mouth was right by his ear now, whispering things like, ride you later and taste me now. And honestly, the moment your hand slipped under his shirt again, brushing across his ribs like a live wire, he knew he was already gone. Fuck it, he muttered. tearing the bag open and popping both gummies, and I think that's too much for him, into his
Yeah.
mouth. I've never had them before, but people, it looks like they get messed up on these things. Into, I was about to say, have you tried them? Into his mouth before he could change his mind. Your gasp of delight was instant, arms tightening around him, peppering kisses along his jaw, like he just handed you the moon.
You're gonna love this.
Okay, you said gleefully.
I promise.
Yunho didn't answer. That's the music. But he did feel the way your hips rocked into him again. And he did hear San in the background mutter to Young, he's done for. And yeah, he kind of was. It didn't hit all at once. It started like a shimmer around the edges of things, lights blooming too wide, too bright, bass vibrating through the soles of his boots and curling up his spine like fingers. His thoughts started to float sideways, slow and syrupy, like the world was underwater and he'd forgotten how to swim. You were still pressed against him, laughing at something Young said, but Yunho didn't hear it. He couldn't hear anything. But the way your voice wrapped around his name, your palm was on his chest, just sitting there, right over his heart. His shirt felt paper thin, and every sweep of your fingers left a trail of heat behind it.
Are you good?
You asked suddenly, peering up at him with those wide, glittery eyes, your nose nearly brushing his. Yeah, he breathed. And then slower, more confused. I think. God, your skin looked like it was glowing, or maybe that was the club lights, or maybe you were just the most beautiful freaking thing he'd ever seen. You sang softly, dragging your fingers down his stomach.
You're so high.
He opened his mouth to argue, but Yosong showed up out of nowhere like a fashionable, judgmental hallucination, holding a small tray stacked with glowing neon shots. That's going to make it worse. Stacked with glowing neon shots. Look what I found, Yosong said with an entirely too satisfied smile. Jello and regret. Absolutely not, San said immediately.
Yes.
You grinned. You're so drunk. You're so high. You grinned, reaching over Yunho to grab two, still not untangling from him. You handed one to Yunho and whispered,
It tastes like glow sticks in Bad Decisions. You'll love it.
He looked down at the cup in his hand, at your fingers still curved loosely around his wrist, and swallowed.
Why is it warm?
I think that's me. Okay.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Why is it warm? You actually giggled. I'm sorry. I'm getting high. Okay. You actually giggled at him. Don't think about it, Young said, too late, but he drank it anyway. Because you drank yours and your tongue chased the last of it from his lips like you were trying to drive him insane. Your arms curled tighter around his neck as you tugged him down, whispering against his mouth.
You feel good.
Yunho's brain short-circuited. Your thighs were brushing his now. Your chest flushed to his, and your hands hadn't stopped moving for even 1 second, sliding up into his hair now, nails gently scratching. His heartbeat was all over the place. I feel weird, he blinked.
Good weird?
We're both high now, you asked, mouth ghosting across his jaw. Really good weird, he murmured, eyes fluttering shut as your hips swayed in time with the beat, dragging him along for the ride. The room was spinning, or maybe he was. You giggled, wrapping one arm around his neck and using the other to trace circles on his chest, then lower, fingers teasing under the hem of his shirt.
Let's dance.
You whispered, like you hadn't been dancing on him all night already. Yunho nodded dumbly, because he would have done anything you asked right now, even if it meant melting into a puddle on the floor with you. Yunho wasn't sure how much time had passed. The music had dissolved into a steady pulse beneath his skin, like a second heartbeat synced perfectly to yours. The lights were strobing, pink, blue, ultraviolet, but all he could see was you. You were dancing against him like you were made for it, like you knew the exact angles that would drive him insane. Every roll of your hips, every sway of your body, pulled something low and dangerous from his chest. His hands never stayed in one place, palming your waist, sliding down to grip your thighs, fingertips dipping just under the hem of that barely there dress inappropriate you wore like a dare. And the high, God, it had him loose. It had him reckless. It had him bold. He bent down, lips brushing your ear as his hand gripped your hip, pulling you harder against the obvious shape of him in his jeans. Remember what he said earlier? He murmured, voice thick and low. About wanting to ride me tonight? Your breath hitched, body stilling just enough to meet his eyes, and he smirked. Was that just high you talking? He asked. I hope we don't do anything there, he asked, teeth teasing at your earlobe. Or are you gonna make good on that? You turned and you turned in his arms, backing up into him. Your ass grinding. It's not gonna happen on the dance floor. Your ass grinding slowly into his lap with zero shame, making Yunho groan under his breath. I was just about to groan. Hands snapping down to your hips to control emotion, or try to. His fingers dug in, his head dropping to your shoulder.
I meant it.
You whispered.
Every word.
Yunho smiled against your skin. It wasn't his usual soft-lipped smile. No, it was this one crooked and cocky and just the side of dangerous. Good, he breathed, sliding one hand up your torso, thumb grazing just under your boobs. Because I've been thinking about it a lot, especially the way you always grab my hair when you're close and how your thighs start to shake. You gasped. What was that?
I gasped.
Okay. You gasped, half turning like you wanted to say something, but caught your jaw gently with one hand and kept going, mouth dragging along the shell of your ear. You always clench around me when you're trying not to moan, he whispered, voice all gravel and heat. Drives me insane, you whimpered, and he laughed. Soft, soft, deep, wrecked. Yeah, he said, pressing a kiss behind your ear. You're definitely not the only one who's been thinking. Oh, hold on. Who is that? Okay, that's you.
Oh, okay. You're definitely not the only one who's been thinking about tonight.
And then the bass dropped again. You moved with him, slower now, the rhythm dirtier, heavier. His hand never left your body, guiding you, worshiping you, claiming you right there in the middle of the dance floor without a single apology. If someone had asked his name right then, he wouldn't have remembered it. All he knew was you, your body, your scent, your voice echoing in his head like a promise he needed kept. All right, I'm take another break. Scared and spicy. Hold on. Stockholm syndrome.
You should be close to finishing.
Yes.
I would think.
I don't know.
Okay, not that kind of finishing, ma'am.
Well, I know. Pause. Stockholm syndrome. Pause. No, it's not by the same author. Stockholm syndrome is by Velvet Max. Is it 12 chapters?
I don't know. I still haven't read the last one.
Neither have I. I don't want it to end, but eventually we do need to read it. Nice choice of words. We try, Jessica. We try. Jessica, I feel like we should bring you in for some acting parts. Laugh. I tried to laugh as good as I can. I thought Devilish was done. Devilish is not done. Okay.
I'm trying to see where we're at.
Okay.
Still scrolling.
We got a way to go.
Where are we at? We are, didn't know. Oh, we've got quite a bit left.
All right. Clearly we're not finishing this today. Has it only been 2 hours? Oh, we're going on 3 hours pretty soon. Not next weekend. We can't read all this. We'll literally be here till like 6 o'clock, maybe 3 or 4. Didn't know how he ended up across the warehouse again. Only that you tugged him by the hand like your life depended on it. Eyes glittering, skin glowing from the lights and the heat and whatever was still coursing through your skin.
I'm thirsty.
You panted dramatically, dragging him through the crowd. I could have gotten it for you, he started, but you waved him off, plowing toward a mismatched setup of folding tables, empty bottles, and Yosong. Of course, Yosong was perched on the edge of a table, surrounded by a small crowd of rave, chic strangers. His black mesh shirt glittered in the strobe, and his lips were pink and shiny, like he'd already kissed someone tonight. And based on the smirk you threw, he probably had. You threw the bottle of water Yosan gave you, twisting the cap with your teeth, guzzling like you hadn't had a drop of water in hours, the condensation already dripping down your chin and between your collarbones. Swallowed hard, his own throat dry, for very different reasons. You turned, still gulping, and suddenly was sitting, and you were in his lap. Just like that. 1 second, upright, next second, warm weight, silky thighs, bare shoulders, pressing against him, your dress sliding high on your legs, like it had a mind of its own.
Hi.
You mumbled over your shoulder, breath warm and sweet with tequila and weed.
You're comfy.
He coughed, a smile, stunned, his hands automatically landing on your hips like muscle memory.
Who's this?
You're a new person now. Someone from the group asked, a guy with glitter-streaked cheeks and a piercing in his brow. Opened his mouth, but before he could speak, Yosong, oh, I know who this is. He could speak, Yosong cut in with zero hesitation. He's Wyan's boyfriend. The word hit like a pipe to the chest. Boyfriend. Froze, fingers digging into your waist before he realized it, chest tightening beneath the pulse of music and adrenaline and something heavier. You were still drinking, completely unbothered, like that word wasn't ricocheting around his skull, rearranging his entire freaking world. Wait, seriously? One of the girls asked, looking at him like he was a rare Pokemon card. YN doesn't do boyfriends. Ever, added another. Like, never ever, the first girl emphasized, eyes wide. Opened his mouth again, but it was dry, like all the moisture in his body had fled south or straight into panic mode. You still hadn't said anything. You hadn't even reacted. You just finished your water, turned your head lazily, and kissed his cheek like it was nothing. Courtney, you hummed.
He's perfect, right?
Oh, that's you. Okay. Oh, is that still you? Nope, that's me. Right. Sure. Was a lot of things. Tall, slightly high, trying very hard not to get hard with you on his lap. Perfect. He wasn't so sure his mother would think so anymore. Are you actually dating him? Another girl asked, squinting suspiciously, making you tilt your head.
Does it count if I ride him more than he drives his car?
Choked. And a group howled. Yosong was just sipping something out of a glowing cup, like he hadn't just detonated an emotional grenade in Yuno's ribcage.
You good?
You murmured, noticing how quiet he'd got. Yuno forced a smile, leaning in close, his mouth brushing your ear. Are we going to talk about the whole boyfriend thing? He asked slowly, trying not to sound like it mattered. You turned in his lap just enough to grin at him.
Nah.
You said, eyes twinkling.
We can talk later. I've got other things I want to do with your mouth.
Oh, is that me? I think that's me.
No.
Okay, that was you.
It says, nah, you said. Your eyes twinkling.
Okay. So pervy. Groaned quietly, eyes fluttering shut. Yeah, he was screwed. And he didn't even care. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. Oh, no. I think the car's okay. No, it's not. Okay. It's not. Yuno's car was not designated for 5 people, let alone 5 post-party glitter-drenched degenerates, 2 of which were still noticeably high, but that didn't stop San from snatching the keys the second he saw practically melting into you at the end of the night. I'm driving, San declared, already pulling open the driver's door. There is no way I'm letting you behind the wheel. Uyang called, okay. Uyong called shotgun before anyone else could blink, flinging himself into the passenger seat with all the smug energy of someone who definitely made out with his best friend at the party and now was pretending he didn't. That left the back seat, which met Yosung, smiling, smelling like neon, mischief, and illegal substances. Grandin shoved Yunho into the middle seat, like a school field trip chaperone, before wedging himself against the far door. Yunho didn't care, because the second he sat, you climbed into his lap without hesitation, thighs bracketing his, arms looped around his neck like a seatbelt that smelled like sweat, vanilla lip gloss, and bad decisions. This is dangerous, Yosong said mildly, throwing his arm behind the seat and cracking the window.
This is hot.
You corrected, nuzzling against Yuno's cheek. Yuno was too far gone to care. The edibles had fully kicked in, and everything felt warm and slow and good, like the buzz of your laugh in his ear. Like the way your fingers played with the cross necklace around his neck, like the weight of you in his lap, pressing into him with every bump in the road. Your apartment wasn't far, but the traffic lights were long and the car was too quiet.
I liked you tonight.
You whispered, pressing a kiss under his jaw. You look so pretty in that lightning. I almost wanted to drop to my knees. Oh.
I think that was my line.
Okay. Why are you calling me pretty? I thought that was me.
You look so pretty tonight in that lighting. I almost wanted to drop to my knees right there in front of everyone and your God himself.
Oh, yes, that is you. Okay. Baby, he murmured, voice raspy. You're sitting on my lap right now. Don't say shit like that. Young snorted from the front. You two are gonna fuck the second we get home, huh? Yosong didn't even look up. Yeah, might not wait till we get home. Yuno smiled lazily, head tipping back against the seat, hands gliding up your thighs. He had zero shame, not when it came to you, not when your arms wrapped tighter around his shoulders and you leaned in to whisper.
I do want to ride you tonight.
He whimpered. Okay. Actress. Okay. Literally. Gotta be professional. Literally a soft, muffled groan that only made you smile wider. I was about to do it, but I'll refrain. Yuno had never been to your apartment before. Uh-oh. He knew where it was. Uyong talked about it enough, and him and San had dropped Yosong off here more than once. But this was the first time he'd actually stepped inside. The second the door clicked open, it was like being hit with a wave of you. The smell, the lighting, the little cluttered bits of your life that made up the space. The sunglasses on the hallway table, the sneakers kicked off in every direction, the jacket barely hanging on the coat hook. The kind of chaos that felt lived in, real. Shoes off, Yosung mumbled, already flopping his face onto the couch. If you track rave floor in here again, I swear to God. From down the hall, Uyung's voice called out, San, take your clothes off and get in here. San didn't even argue. He was too tired, too wrung out, and probably too in need of his boyfriend to protest. He followed him like a dazed puppy, already yanking off his shirt as he disappeared down the hallway, which left you and Yuno, just the two of you, in your apartment, still buzzing from whatever mystery edible you gave him, still holding your hand like he might float away if he didn't. You gave him a smile, sweet and a little dangerous, then tugged him toward your room.
Come on.
You said softly. You did sound soft. Okay, you can
sleep with me tonight.
His heart did something weird in his chest. You weren't flirting, not exactly. It wasn't like earlier when your hands were under his shirt or your mouth was on his jaw. This was something else, softer, the kind of invitation that felt less like a hookup and more like a promise. Your bedroom was you, and it stole the breath from his lungs the second he walked in. Warm lights strung along the ceiling, posters you half taped and half stapled to the wall, a mirror littered with lip gloss smudges, Notes to yourself, old Polaroids, a vanity overflowing with products, and a dresser that held a collection of rings and bracelets he'd seen you wear one by one, but never all in place. The bed wasn't made. The blankets were messy, a sweatshirt tossed across the foot of it. Your scent was everywhere. Yuna felt like he stepped into the heart of a storm. He had no intention of leaving. You turned to him, still holding his hand, and then you stepped close. When your hands found his jaw and your lips brushed his, it wasn't hungry this time. It wasn't desperate. It was just yours. A kiss that said stay. A kiss that said, I trust you here. A kiss that said, this is mine. And he kissed you back like he understood every word. Didn't even remember sitting down. One minute he was standing there in the middle of your room, the light soft and warm, and your presence absolutely everywhere. And the next, you were pushing slightly at his chest until he was on your bed, leaning back against your mountain of pillows, his hands gripping the edge of the mattress like he needed an anchor. And then you were crawling into his lap. You didn't ask. You didn't need to. You just moved like you belonged there, knees on either side of his thighs, fingers trailing up under his shirt to touch the skin he kept hidden from everyone else. His breath hitched as you started kissing just under his jaw. Your lips already curved into a knowing smirk before kissing him. And God, you kissed him like that did something to you. You tasted like sweat and sugar, party and perfume, tongue slow and teasing against his until he groaned into your mouth. Your hands wandered, greedy and sweet, all at once, slipping to his hair, down his chest, tugging at his waistband like a silent promise. Was already hard. You had to know. There was no way you didn't feel it. He was so fudged. You pulled back just enough to breathe, forehead against his, both of you panting, high and buzzing, and so wrapped up in each other that the rest of the world didn't exist anymore. And that's when said it. That thing that had been stuck in his brain since Yosong blurted it out at the party. That word that had made everyone look at him like he'd grown a second head. That word that felt way too real and not real enough. You don't do boyfriends? He murmured, voice hoarse, thumb brushing. He's bringing it up at like a random time.
I just want to ride you, bro.
Bro. He murmured, voice hoarse, thumb brushing your waist. You blinked at him, confused for half a second. He swallowed, eyes locked on your mouth. But Yosong said I was yours, that I was your boyfriend? A beat of silence followed. Then you smiled. You smirked, actually head tilting, fingers sliding into his hair again.
And?
You said, your voice a little breathless, a little too confident.
Do you have a problem with that, boyfriend?
Oh, cute. He groaned, actually groaned. Okay, I think it broke my brain a little, he admitted, laughing softly as he dropped his head back against the pillows. I've been thinking about it since he said it. You leaned in again, lips ghosting over across his cheek, whispering in his ear.
So be mine.
Did you just get into the microphone?
I did.
Okay. Yuna's grip on your hips tightened as you moved your mouth back to his, kissing him deeper now, slower and dirtier, like you had all the time in the world to ruin him. And you did. And he'd let you. He'd let you do anything. Didn't know where the laughter ended and the kisses began. Your fingers were beneath his shirt again, warm and slow, dragging up over his stomach like you were mapping out the lines of his body from memory. You pulled it over his head with, with practice ease. Your palms smoothing over his chest after, like you liked what you found there. He couldn't look away from you. Your pupils were blown wide. Lips kissed swollen, skin glowing from the party haze, and had never wanted anything more than he'd wanted you here, now, like this. His hands reached out, slow and reverent, helping you shimmy out of that dress. The slinky fabric pulling at your waist, and then slipped down your legs until you were left in nothing but those barely there pantaloons. He sucked in a breath, his gaze dragging up your body like it was sacred. You kissed him again, soft this time, like a question, like a promise, and then you pulled back just enough to tug his pants down. You didn't tease, you didn't need to. He was already aching, already hard, already entirely yours.
I want to be close to you.
You whispered, voice thick, breath shaky.
I want to feel all of you.
You shifted, tugging your pantaloons down and letting them fall to the floor, never breaking eye contact as Yunho's hands slid up your thighs, reverent and shaking a little, until he was holding your hips again. Okay.
It's about to get weird.
Let's get weird. Let me take a break. We're about to do something.
Just gonna do it. Gonna get into it.
No,
Best
are we
acting performance?
We're going there?
We're gonna get a Grammy for this performance.
Oh man, or an Oscar. I don't even know what we're getting. We're gonna
wait. Yeah, I don't know. Is it a Grammy or an Oscar? I don't even know.
Oscar.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it could be both. I mean, we're reading a book. It's like a category in our mind, and then an Oscar. We're doing it all. 12 chapters. Chapter 12 has 2 parts. Oh, okay. Very
Pause.
Pause. Yeah. Pause. Inappropriate.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're about to get down and freaky. If you don't like freaky stuff, please leave. Okay.
It's gonna get real weird.
It's gonna get weird. Okay. Actually, I thought you were gonna move your pantaloons to the side. I actually did. That's what I thought. But
why do that? Just take them off. Shit.
I don't know. Get close to him. I guess technically me. Okay, here we go. Not gonna do. Okay. I'm just gonna say it normally. Okay. Come here, baby. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna whisper. Come here, baby. You whispered, voice hoarse. Come here. You climbed into his lap slowly. Both of you completely bare now. And when you reached between your bodies, you lined him up. He nearly lost it right then, but he held on, gritted his teeth, and held on as you sank down onto him, inch by inch. Your hands braced on his shoulders, his head falling back against the pillows with a groan. Fuck, he gasped, hands clenching around your waist. God, you feel so good like this. You whimpered, burying your face in his neck. Hold on.
Don't do that. I want to stay like this for a second.
Yunho nodded, arms wrapping around you tightly. And for a long, quiet moment, you just sat there, wrapped around each other, skin to skin, your heart fluttering against his chest and his lips brushing your temple as he whispered your name like a prayer. You're so beautiful, he murmured. You know that, right? You pulled back enough to meet his gaze, eyes softer now, almost vulnerable.
So are you.
Aw, you said, running your thumb over his bottom lip.
Even when you're high as hell.
That was me laughing. Oh, really laugh? I don't want to do his actual laugh. And then you kissed him again, slow, deep, everything in that moment. And when you started to move, rocking your hips gently, his grip tightened, but still he didn't rush. Because this wasn't about getting off. This was about feeling everything. You were riding him slowly, hips moving in these lazy, rolling circles that had his entire body on fire. But it was your chest that had him completely wrecked. Yunho's hands slid up your sides like he couldn't help it, thumbs brushing just under the swell of your bubes, before he brought his mouth to one. Okay. The moment he wrapped his lips around your nip, tongue flicking over the silver barbell, piercing there, you gasped, your back arching, pace faltering for just a second as your fingers tangled in his hair. Hold on. Oh, this might sound creepy. Tell me if this sounds creepy. You like that? Is that good? Is that okay? Okay. I mean, yeah. Let me take a break.
I can't.
Hey, how you doing? Okay.
Welcome in.
Come in.
This is normal behavior.
Yeah, I had to gear myself up. 20th warning. We just have to do that. This is a live reading of Stockholm. If you do not like corn, please leave now. Okay.
Not Stockholm. Wrong
No,
story.
sorry. This is not Stockholm. This is
Devilish.
Devilish. Thank you for joining. We have been reading for almost 3 hours straight. All right, we're gonna get back into this. Okay, I'm gonna bite again. You like that? He murmured, voice gone with need, tongue tracing slow circles around the metal. All right, I got this. You know how fucking obsessed I am with these, right?
I almost spit out water. I can't. Why would you do that? What did you put in your mouth? I'm curious. What was in your mouth?
My finger. I'm trying to draw people in. I hope you all sound the intent I was trying to do.
Fucking dead.
Got Corey over here losing it.
Okay, Jesus.
Do you want to do that part again? No. You whimpered. All right, just go.
You keep telling me, but I don't think I'll ever get tired of hearing it.
Yunho groaned, pulling your nip deeper.
I'm not. Sorry. Okay, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
We're acting. Okay. Pulling your nip deeper into his mouth, letting his teeth barely graze the bar before soothing it with his tongue. You ground down harder in response. I'm sweating, breath hitching, your hands braced against his chest now, like you were trying to keep yourself from unraveling completely. He moved to the other one, lavishing it just the same. Slow sucks, lips slick, tongue greedy. I swear to God, he muttered into your skin. I could come. What? Why are you saying this? I could come just from this.
You better not.
You said through a breathy laugh, hips grinding down again with a teasing twist.
Not yet.
Oh, who was that?
That's me. I was finishing my sentence.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry I interrupted.
Not yet.
Oh. You groaned. Okay. Gripping your waist. Hold on. Oh, I don't have anything in my mouth now, right? Okay. But I do have to sound fucked out. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm going to be good. Okay. Then stop freaking moving like that. But you didn't. Of course you didn't. You smiled. A wicked, soft, beautiful thing, and kept rocking against him, your pair of snips brushing against his lip, your name already like a chant in his head. Hold on, let me take a break. Guys, I'm about to get in the mic, just so everyone knows, because I have to whisper. Okay. Goodness, those gummies. They really do. They really do. He became a heathen at this point. At this point. Oh, he getting real freaky in this. Okay. All right. Okay. Courtney, you don't have any water, right?
Not in my mouth, I don't.
Courtney, don't say it like that. Okay. Let me take care of you. He whispered, kissing over the curve of your bosom, licking your trail back to the center of your chest. Tonight, I want you to feel everything. He groaned. Fingers digging into your hips, trying to keep it together as you rocked against him, but your body was too much, your eyes too wild, your breathy moans punching holes in what little restraint he had left. You want to know what I want? He rasped, voice low, reverent, wrecked. Before you could answer, Yunho moved. Oh, we're doing this. Okay. He grabbed you by the waist and flipped you onto your back. You gasped. Oh, sharp in the quiet air as your back hit the mattress. the room spinning for half a second before you felt the heat of his body cover yours. You barely had a chance to breathe before his mouth was back on yours, hot, deep, desperate. Your legs wrapped around his waist automatically, locking him in. And God, the sound he made in your mouth at that alone. Fuck, he growled, nudging his hips forward, his length still inside you, very deep as he started to roll into you slow. I'm gonna start my hand claps very soon, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I gotta find what was I using for headboard?
I don't know, I'm not there. I think you were using desk.
Okay.
I have purse. Okay. Intentional thrust. Your head tilted back with a moan, hands clutching at his shoulders as he settled into a rhythm. Lazy but deep, grinding into you like he wasn't just trying to make you feel good. He was trying to ruin you. I love it when you let me take you like this, he murmured, lips ghosting down your jaw. His voice thick. Oh, I was like, what is that? What's going on?
Headboard.
Kind of do it louder over me, I guess. Okay. His voice thick and slurred from the edible, but not less intense. Legs around me, like you don't want to let go of me. And you're like, you whispered, breath shaking, fingers carting through his hair. Yunho smiled against your skin, then kissed your collarbone, hips thrusting deep as he grunted into your chest. Good, because I'm not going anywhere. Your body arched as he angled just right, one hand slipping under your thigh to hike it higher up his waist, making the next stroke hit even deeper. You cried out his name, your walls tightening around him, and Yunho groaned hard, head falling into your shoulder. You feel so fucking good, baby, he panted, hips picking up speed now, his self-control crumbling the longer he was inside you. You don't even know what you do to me. Okay. So sorry, guys. I'm in the mic. Okay. Yunho's hips stuttered for just a second, your body squeezing him too tightly, too perfectly, and then he growled, deep in your throat, before driving into you harder. His rhythm shifted, faster, rougher, not punishing, but desperate, like his body couldn't help. Hold on. Like his body couldn't help anymore. I'm multitasking. You were creaming. Oh, okay. Well, okay. You were creaming him now, slick and soaking. The wet sound of your bodies meeting, filling the room with something obscene and addictive. Are you making noise?
No.
Okay. He was deep, so deep, and you were clinging to him, moaning his name like a prayer. His breath hitched against your neck, teeth grazing your skin as he thrust harder. What, baby? What do you need? Oh.
Okay, wait. Wait. I need a break.
Pause. Take a moment. Take a moment. We'll take a little breather. Take a breather.
Okay, I got this. This is
Ready?
fine. This is perfectly normal.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I need you to finish inside me.
Thank you. You whimpered, nails digging into his shoulders.
Please. I need to feel it. I need to feel it. You'll fill me up.
That broke him. He snapped his hips into yours. Rhythm falling apart as his arms tighten around you. One hand gripping the back of your thigh. Oh no, okay. The other planted beside your head to anchor himself. Fuck. You're so fucking tight. He groaned, voice ragged and filthy in your ear. Say it again. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Was it too loud? Was I too loud?
You're fine.
Sorry, guys. I was getting into it. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to finish? No, I'm sorry. You're about to say something so unhinged. Oh no,
Okay. We got this. This is fine. This is fine. This is normal. We're just reading.
This is fine.
Inside.
Nice. Rolling your hips to meet his.
I want you inside.
Oh.
Come inside me, Please.
Hold on, my girl. You didn't even get the last word out. You came first. Body seizing around him. Vision flashing white as he screamed his name. You don't have to do that. The orgasm. Oh, the
what if I wanted to? Jeez.
What, you wanted to?
No.
Okay.
No.
The organism crashed over you like a wave, blinding and sharp. Your thighs shaking. Your puss gripping him like a vice, and Yunho lost it. He moaned your name. Wyatt. One final.
I'm done. I'm logging out.
Oh, this is for the people. These are going to be YouTube shorts next week.
Oh, no.
Why are we saving Smurvix? We don't even need to say that.
Whoa.
That's in here. I didn't put that there.
Deep thrust hitting your cervix as he spills inside of you.
Yup.
Hot and thick.
No, that's my part. That's my part. Okay. He moaned your name. That's where we last laid? That's where we last. What is that word? Landed? No. What is that word? Ended?
I don't even know where we're at.
I don't know right now. Actually, I'm going to go back into that because I want to read this whole part.
Just start from the top.
Start from the tart. Tart?
Top.
Start from the tart. I sounded so confident. All right. Okay. The organism crashed over you like a wave, blinding and sharp, your thighs shaking, your puss gripping him like a vice. I'm only starting over because I want you guys to get the whole experience. And Yunho lost it. He moaned your name. One final deep thrust, hitting your smurvix as he spilled inside you. Hot and thick and endless. He didn't pull out. Didn't even try. Just buried himself in you. Both of you shaking as you came together. Breath tangled. Sweat clinging. Body still rocking in aftershocks. The room had gone quiet. Your heartbeat was finally slowing. Your breath synced with his, chest to chest, beneath the soft wash of the moonlight, seeping through the curtains. Now this is like all relaxed. Yunho was still inside you, barely. Oh, your bodies tangled like you'd known each other for lifetimes. One of his hands lazily traced your spine, the other tucked behind his head as he stared up at your ceiling, like he held the secrets of the universe. You hummed sleepily, lips brushing his jaw.
Why do you look like you're thinking about a war?
He let out a nervous, hollow chuckle. Because I kind of am. You blinked, shifting just enough to look at him fully.
What?
He sighed, and he really looked at you now, tender but bracing. Okay, I have to tell you something before I chicken out. And I swear to God, I didn't mean for it to happen.
Don't.
I didn't, what? I didn't do anything. You said slowly, brows lifting. So he cleared his throat, running a hand down his face. Remember my camera? I left it in the apartment, and I guess my brother used a spare key me and Son hide to grab it for my dad's birthday party. Thought it had family pics or something. You sat up a little straighter.
Okay.
Yunho winced, except it didn't.
What did it have?
A video. He winced harder, like he was about to get hit. Silence. Then you blinked again.
A video of what?
Us. You just stared, face unreadable, and Yunho felt his heart start to sink into his feet. And they saw it, my dad and Yunho. They watched it, before I could stop them. And I ran in and grabbed the camera, but he let out a strangled laugh. Yeah, damage was done. You blinked. Once, twice, then you snorted, and then you laughed. A sharp, loud burst of sound that made Yunho flinch.
Oh my god.
Good, okay. You wheezed. You wheezed.
Your dad. No.
You wheezed, collapsing back against him.
Your dad? Your brother?
Yeah, Yunho said, voice high with confusion. Why are you laughing? I thought you were going to kill me, he groaned, hiding his face in your shoulder while you just kept laughing like this was the funniest thing to happen all week, which, let's be real, it was.
Baby.
You whispered teasingly.
Did your dad at least say I looked good?
Why in? Okay. All right. Little pause. I love the art. I love the art. It's called acting, Jessica. It's called acting.
We're trying.
Trying our best. We were trained in the finest arts by the best teachers, and now we're loose in the streets. Oh, yeah, he's definitely.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. No.
Why are we loose?
Not loose. We're walking the streets. We're in the streets. We're just there. We're just there doing art.
Can I make a request?
Sure.
Next week, can you move your chat box to underneath us?
Oh, yeah, I can move it now. That better?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. It just kept blocking it off, and I'm like, I can't see.
Is that better? Okay.
Whoa.
What? Okay. All right. It was one of those rare too perfect Sundays. The sun was shining, birds were singing, and your hand was warm. All right, this will be the last part, and then
I think this is almost over.
No, because then I'll be like, "What? Might as well finish."
No, I genuinely think like you're on the last area.
Chapter. It's like the little bar here is like right in the middle.
I'm checking again.
All right, we're gonna check. Check real quick. Pause. I know I tried to stop, but I just kept talking.
I scrolled too far.
Courtney's checking. Courtney's checking the length. Checking how much more we have to read.
I do tend to do that.
Yep. Pause.
I mean, we're bread inspectors here for a reason.
That is true. That is true. Are we almost?
Are we getting to the end? I'm getting there.
She's scrolling. We are currently reading Devilish, the fanfic by Yoongi's Teeny. I'm never going to get that right. This story is available on Tumblr. If you like the link, it is in the description box, so you can read it at your own leisure. Or you can just have Courtney read it. We're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Fudge, like how many parts left?
So there's this part, and then there's a very, very short part. And this is also a short part, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, might as well finish. Oh, okay. All right. It was one of those rare too perfect Sundays. The sun was shining, birds were singing, and your hand was warm in Yunho's as the two of you strolled down a quiet stretch of the arts district. He was listening to you talk, kind of, more like half listening, half staring at your lips every time they wrapped around the straw of that smoothie you'd insisted on getting from some little hole in the wall spot he'd never heard of. You'd pick mango peach. He tried it once, then a second time, then told you he hated it and proceeded to steal 4 more sips when you weren't looking. That would be so cute of him. Everything felt weirdly good, like settled, domestic almost, and that scared the crap out of Yunho. So naturally, his brain did what it always did when he started feeling too much. He blurted something reckless. I want a tattoo, he said, completely unprompted, cutting you off mid-story. You blinked, furrowing your brows. What?
What?
Oh. He stopped walking, eyes locked on the tattoo shop across the street. I'm serious. You followed his gaze. Neon sign in the window. Buzz of machines faintly audible through the glass.
You've never mentioned wanting a tattoo before.
I know, he said, already dragging you toward the crosswalk. But I skipped church today, and I feel like doing something unholy. You choked on your smoothie.
You know?
Good job. Okay. What? It's true. You shook your head, looking at some of your smoothie from your lips.
You skipped church and now want to get a tattoo.
You gapped. Gape sounds so bad. That word, I'm not saying it. Half laughing, half scandalized.
That's your version of rebellion.
It's a start, he said, yanking the door open. The bell jingled above your heads as you were hit with a sharp tang of antiseptic and ink. The receptionist looked up, eyebrows raised. Walk in? Yunho looked at you, then at the girl. Yep. Cool. Small staff only today, unless you've got an appointment, she said, sliding him a clipboard with forms. What are you thinking? He paused, eyes flicking to you. Then he grinned, cheeky and completely unserious. Surprise me. You smacked his arm. Oh,
You're not letting a stranger pick your tattoo.
okay. Then you surprised me. You laughed.
You know.
He smiled down at you. No, seriously, he said, nudging you. Pick it. You'll have to look at it all the time anyway. Your face flushed.
That's stupid.
You rolled your eyes, trying not to smile. That's love. You shoved him, but he kept smiling. Pick the tattoo, baby. The moment the tattoo artist Cora, a woman with sleeve tattoos and purple hair, tied up in a messy bun, called Yunho back. He looked at you expectantly. You just smiled. Wait, he said, pausing just as he stood. You're really not going to tell me what it is? You shrugged. Oh, sorry,
Nope.
that's me. You shrugged.
Nope.
You popped the last of your smoothie straw in your mouth and stood. He grumbled something under his breath, probably about how you were lucky he likes you, but didn't stop. The room was cozy, clean, and softly lit, with a little speaker playing lo-fi hip-hop in the corner. Cora gestured toward the chair and started prepping her equipment. Shut off, she said without looking. Yunho blinked at her, then at you. You picked something visible. You picked some more visible? You gave him your most innocent smile as Cora turned around, glancing between the two of you.
It's going on the back of your neck, like upper spine. Good spot, easy to hide with a collared shirt.
I think that's me. You know what? Him getting something, I feel like it was visible. All right. Okay. It's going on the back of your neck, like upper spine. Good spot. Easy to hide with your collared shirt or show off when your girlfriend's got her fingers in your hair. Yunho smirked, shaking. Could you hear like the different in my, did you hear?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. Yunho smirked, shaking his head as he tugged his shirt over his head in one smooth motion. The muscles in his shoulders rippled as he sat down. His back to you now, tanned and solid and stupidly perfect. You sat beside him, legs crossed, sipping the last of your smoothie. Barely anything left. Like this was the most normal thing in the world. The buzzing filled the room like a low purr, steady and rhythmic. Yunho sat upright in the chair, shirtless and still as Cora worked on the back of his neck, her gloved hands moving with practiced ease. You stayed seated beside him, chin propped on your palm, watching the way his brows furrowed, every so often, not from pain, really, just from concentration. He was trying so hard to act like it didn't bother him. He let out a breath, half sigh, half mutter. My mom is going to kill me. You smiled.
Because of the tattoo?
He nodded, his head slightly. Cora immediately paused, tapping his shoulder. Don't move, genius. Right. He said sheepish, then to you. Well, yeah, the tattoo, but also because I skipped church this morning. You grinned around your straw.
Hold on, let me grin around my straw.
Okay.
Oh no, not church. Tell me you at least prayed for forgiveness before climbing into my bed last night.
Well, really, I tried, he said dramatically, but someone had their tongue in my mouth before I could even finish the sign of the cross. You snorted, letting your cup down on the little table beside you. You leaned in just a little, resting your chin on his shoulder, lips close to his ear.
You like me corrupting you.
Yunho made a strangled sound in his throat. And Cora immediately pulled the needle back. You okay? She asked, glancing at him. Yeah, he said, voice cracking. Just remembered something embarrassing. You bit your lip, trying not to laugh as she went back to work. He cleared his throat and muttered, You are a bad influence. You kissed him quickly, just a brush of your lips.
Proud of it.
You said sweetly, kissing his bare shoulder before sitting back again.
Now hush, let her finish before you jerk your whole spine out of alignment.
Yunho rolled his eyes, but he was smiling. The buzzing eventually stopped. Cora leaned back, peeling off her gloves with a snap. All done. Yunho blinked, slightly dazed. Already? She nodded after cleaning it. Mirror's over there, Cora said, rolling her stool back. Yunho stood slowly, stretching out his back with a quiet groan, and padded over to the full-length mirror. You followed, watching as he turned and caught sight of it for the first time. The tattoo was striking. A black brushstroke style cross, bold and imperfect, running from the nape of his neck straight down the middle of his spine. The ends of the crossbars tapered off like they'd been painted with purpose and fury, messy but sacred. You picked it out yourself. Yunho just stared for a moment. It was simple but powerful, and honestly, kind of him.
It's not just the cross,
you said, coming up behind him.
It's how people carry it, like the weight. The ink feels like it moves, doesn't it?
He didn't say anything, not right away. It looks strong. Your reflection met his in the mirror, and you smiled.
Because you are.
His throat bobbed. My mom is seriously going to disown me. You smirked.
She'll get over it.
He rolled his eyes but turned around to face you, his hands finding your hips. I do kind of love it, though, he admitted, voice slower now. It feels like something I chose for me.
You didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, but you picked it. You blinked and he smiled soft. So I trust it. And that shut you up real quick. All right, take another pause. Now it's like getting more innocent, like he's not humping the life out of her, which I love. Give her a little bit of a break.
You wanted a little bit of slow burn?
No, I love her sound effects, so I'm sorry. Pause. I'm going to probably read the whole thing next Saturday, chapter 4. Wait, is that comeback week? I think that's when we get other stuff.
Next week is only the 18th.
Okay.
16th, excuse me. So it's the following week.
I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
About to lose my mind. Like, I'm just thinking of how unhinged they're going to be.
I can't.
Nope. Do it.
No, I just the song titles. It's just giving sex the entire thing, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
here for it.
What the previous release that they sounds bad. The first when they had the other songs earlier this year, we mostly just had Ghost as the forerunner of Spice. But also in my mind, I felt like Adrenaline was about, erections. Honestly, that's what I thought it was about. And I'm not, when they're like, I can feel it, girl. I swear they were saying, I can feel it, girl. But they're trying to trick us. I know that's what they're trying to get to do. NASA, going up like a rocket. Come on, we're not dumb. So when the comeback hits on the 26th, then we have a show that following day. And I wish we could watch the music video on YouTube, but they're so sassy with that. I don't know how reactors even get away with that. They probably can't even monetize those videos. But yeah.
Did you plan on taking off that Friday since we will be up till midnight?
I should take that off.
We're talking about it.
Yeah. We're scheduling my day off for my job. Yeah, I'm going to take it off. Every comeback, I get messed up. And then you listen to the songs for like 2 hours or whatever after they're just released. And then that one person starts like their translation videos, and just so much happens on that night. So
I think at minimum we need to do like half day and go in late. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
But don't they do hold on. The day before, I think that's when they do like the comeback pre-show. And that's like at 5 in the morning. That's so early. But it's okay, it's worth it. They're always so cute when they release stuff, and they're so cute. And they start doing like little spoilers, so that's fun as well. I don't know. I enjoy these guys. I really like them a lot. That can allude to anything, and the song titles are already and we know how Captain is with his lyrics. We know exactly how he is.
Do you think we'll get another video explaining the lyrics, but really they're just describing the music video?
I love when they are tormented by their own lives, but I would love for them just to be like forthright with the actual lyrics. Everyone, not just Mingy, because he's like, it's erotic, like it is what it is. And Captain's like, you already know, I don't have to tell you. It's like, sir, stop. We know it's about fudging. We get it. All right, let's wrap this up, even though Yunho doesn't wrap it up. She has to be on plan B or something. It's just, this is out of control. This lady's out of control. All right, here we go. Later that night, Yunho sat at the dinner table, shirt collar buttoned all the way up, the faint sting of the tattoo beneath the fabric reminding him exactly where he'd been instead of church that morning. Actually, that shirt shouldn't even be touching his tattoo. I hope yes, protecting it. I mean, okay. Across the table, his dad was silently chewing, eyes occasionally darting to Yunho, like he knew something was up. His little brother, Gung-ho, was scrolling his phone under the table and snorting at whatever meme was more interesting than the family prayer 10 minutes ago. His mother, oh, she was fuming. You missed church, Yunho, she said for the second time. I know. Her jaw clenched. And I called you. I know. Your father prayed for you. Gung-ho prayed for you. Gung-ho looked up. I didn't. His mother cut him off with a look. Yunho sighed, reaching for a piece of kimchi. I just overslept. His mom narrowed her eyes. Or what's with that girl you've been seeing? The one from the diner the other day in those revealing clothes? The table fell silent. Even Gung-ho paused mid-scroll. Yunho slowly set his chopsticks down. His head tilted slightly, jaw tight. You mean YN? That's the one. My girlfriend? Another beat of silence between Mr. Jeong downed his glass of bourbon, and Gung-ho let out a low, damn, under his breath. Excuse me? His mother asked, blinking like she wasn't sure she heard right. She's my girlfriend, Yunho repeated, voice calm but dangerously sharp. And what she wears is none of your business. His mom blinked again, mouth slightly agape. Clearly flustered by the audacity of her firstborn, defending a woman who wore crop tops and drank iced lattes like sin. What's wrong with that? They're right? Really, I love them. Okay, I don't know what she's filling your head with. She's not filling my head with anything, Yunho cut in. She's smart and funny and kind. And yeah, she dresses hot sometimes. But guess what? She is hot. Gung-ho choked. Jesus, Yunho. His dad muttered under his breath, rubbing his temple. But Yunho kept going, completely unbothered. And you know what I did today instead of church? Oh no, Gung-ho whispered as his mom narrowed her eyes. Oh, please, do enlighten me. I got a tattoo. There it was, full chaos. His mom gasped. His dad closed his eyes like he aged 5 years in a second, and Gung-ho actually dropped his phone. You what? His mom screeched. Yunho smiled sweetly, leaning back in his chair. Right there, he tapped the back of his neck, just under the collar. Big black cross, super dramatic. You'd hate it. Gung-ho wheezed. Is that her influence? His mom snapped, voice rising. Maybe, Yunho said, grinning now. You did say I needed to be more assertive. His dad finally spoke.
I always thought your rebellion phase would come earlier. I didn't expect it at 26.
Same, Gung-ho agreed. Honestly, proud of you, Hyun. Not helping, their mom snapped at both of them as Yunho stood, gathering his jacket. I'm gonna head out. You're not even staying for dessert? He smiled, walking toward the door. Nope, gonna go sin with my girlfriend. Gung-ho slammed the table, laughing. Mr. Jeong just sighed.
Bring her over next time, Oh, sorry, that was yours.
Sorry. Bring her over next time, Her voice was full of false sincerity. You make sure she wears something, his mom began. Didn't even look back. She'll wear whatever she wants. And with that, he was out the door, grin on his face, heart still thudding with adrenaline. Pumping adrenaline. And yeah, the tattoo stung like hell. I figured stung like hell under his collar. Worth it. Okay. That's the end of chapter 3. I really didn't think I would finish that, but I did.
We did it.
I'm so nosy. I'm looking at the comments. We'll just leave Uyang up here. The art of it all. I'm really excited for these two about how the relationship is going to go. We don't know after chapter 4, but we'll definitely be reading one shot. And we finished. We did. Oh, maybe I shouldn't clap, but here we go. Finished. We finished everywhere. Yeah, Devilish. Great read. 10 out of 10. Again, the link is in the description box. The writer of this, so nice. Stopped by the channel. Thinks it's, great that we're reading her stuff. So excited about that. Tomorrow, the guys are going to give us a question mark. We don't know what it is. Probably something around pictures, and we're going to have no idea what that even means. 11 a.m., 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Courtney, do you have any parting word? Hold on. What? Might have a super clip. Very. Man. The Maknaes are always acting up.
Always a problem.
Wait till she turns 25. She's going to be out of control. Out of control. Turning 20 next year, she's going to be wilding out.
She got a couple years.
No, she doesn't. She's 23. We're talking about her life.
You said 25.
She's 23. She turns 24 in November.
Okay, but she's not 24 just yet.
I know. I'm aging.
Don't give her that much credit.
I'm giving her Korean age. I'm just advancing her already in age. It's like you're not even here, Barry. We're like living your life for you. Again, next week we'll read chapter 4 of our story. She's tracking. I'm not tracking your age. You told us how old you were because every year we forget. But now we know 110%. All right, everyone, go outside. We've been on for 3 hours and 30 minutes. Courtney, again, thank you for being the co-host. And thank you for the sound effects. This week, we really expanded our repertoire of sounds, and it's very exciting. So really did. The headboard, the groaning, all the things, just a lot of visuals. Everyone go outside, drink some water, celebrate the guys, do what you got to do. And I will see you guys next week. And Courtney, thank you again. Thank you to the Patreon, Discord, YouTube family for making all this possible. This basically is a part-time job. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you next week and all the things. Okay. Bye.
Bye.